Hello. Welcome to another wonderful podcast of Behind the Layers. I am your host, Kara Christensen, and on this podcast, we discover all the truths, the facts, the myths, the good, the bad, and the ugly in the beauty, fitness, health, and wellness industries. And today's topic, we are going to cover how to maintain after getting off Ozempic, Manjaro, and the weight loss shots, and how you can also lose weight without taking any drugs whatsoever. So, we are going to dive into those things. Happy Thursday. I'm getting a later start than usual today. It is a snow day here in North Carolina, and the kids are all here and getting out and making snow cones and having friends over to play. So it's a fun snow day. And my kids, as always, come first in my life. And I will get to this. This is my hustle. So it's been getting a trendy little following from that little catchphrase. So, but it's true. Us moms, we have, especially moms that have a career and are trying to juggle all the hats and trying to do more things that involve me being closer to home, which is where I desire to be, and reaching out to more people than just whom I can reach in my area for all the expertise I have with fitness and wellness and nutrition and in the makeup and hair industry. So, as an esthetician and a massage therapist, pretty much anything that involves self care. That's me. I'm your gal, and I'm here to share all that knowledge with you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe from this area that you're watching this from. I am streaming it from my main platform, which is on YouTube, and you have to type the @ symbol, Kara Chris TV. On YouTube, you can interact if you're on YouTube, and Facebook, also at Kara Chris TV. If you're on those two platforms, you can interact. And if you're watching on TikTok, X, or Instagram, then unfortunately, I don't get to see your message in real time, but I will get back to you. And of course, anybody that has any messages for me or ask me questions, you can go to Behind the Layers podcast at gmail.com. And I've gotten some great questions, big topics that we covered this week already that we have discussed yesterday was the weight loss shots. And I really do appreciate everybody who chimed in on that. So today we're kind of doing a little follow up on that, which is what to do if you're ready to get off that shot. I know a lot of doctors. I know the advertisements have said take it until you reach your desired weight, and then you can get off. But for many people, some clients that I advised against getting on the shot, but at least it helped them get there. But now they're having some risks that they're worried about and they're trying to get off. And then people that have written me on at Behind the Layers podcast at gmail.com regarding this topic. So this is something that I know a lot of people have on their minds. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that today because it's not something that you should be told from the doctors against the advertisements that they put out there that you're going to have to stay on it for life. So I definitely feel that once you learn how to get off, how to wean yourself off, how to maintain, instead of getting the fear like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get off and I'm going to gain all this weight back, as the doctors are saying, that's enough to scare you to see how you are now, and then to think about, oh my gosh, I could go back to how I was. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dive into it today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow whichever platform you're on. And if you guys are doing the book, we are day 8, day 19. If you miss a day of the book, this is the magic, you guys. The magic is written by The Secret. So it's like the magic in The Secret. And it's a book to help you manifest literally anything that your heart desires, the life you've always been dreaming of, or there's a car or a house or something that you really want in your future. This book is to help you step by step manifest that into your life for free. I mean, the book isn't for free, but I do have a link on my page on YouTube at Kara Chris TV, where you can go and follow along on each day. And it's going to tell you exactly what to do to manifest that greatness in your life. And I'm telling you, it is a game changer for real. Like my husband and I are doing it together, and it's definitely already shown its face in a positive light. So if you miss a day, though, you have to go back 3 days. So that's why I didn't know what day we were on, because we did miss a day and we had to go back 3 days. So here we are. But it is a great book. You're going to really enjoy it. It's like $15 on Amazon, or if you have a Kindle, I think it's $1 to download it. But it's really great. I also have the link to the book on that you can go to on online that takes you day by day. If you don't have the money to do that, you shouldn't have to. Sorry, I have like a hair that's floating in my face and tickling my nose. You shouldn't have to miss out on manifesting your greatness. This channel is all about helping you living your best life from the inside out and guiding you step by step, not just throwing it out, giving you the direction, giving you the exact links, giving you the exact places to go and products to get, or just a layout, a blueprint to follow. So if you go to at Kara Chris TV on YouTube, you can see in my bio, you'll see all my links to all the things that I use, all the links, and this is in there too. So that's kind of where you're going to that's your catch-all spot. I did get locked out of Facebook for like a month because somebody hacked into my account. So at that point, I was like, I need a backup strategy. Where can I keep all of my stuff? So I went to YouTube and I put all of that in my bio, all the links to all the at-home beauty, self-care, fitness, everything that I use personally, and everything that I have ever offered to my clients, my patients. I definitely believe in it wholeheartedly. And I would never put anything out there that I didn't believe wholeheartedly is going to be beneficial to you and helping you live your best life from the inside out. And this is a holistic channel. I'm never going to offer or suggest you taking any type of drugs. It's all going to be something organic and natural, because our bodies are very intelligent and we just don't give it the space that we need to let it do its thing. So, that being said, remember all of that information. If you want to get in on the topics today, please go to the YouTube channel at Kara Chris TV and you'll be able to join in. And for whatever platform you're watching on, I will get back to you in your messages if you type anything. I just have to wait until the stream's over. So I am excited about this topic because this has been a fresh topic. Anybody that has taken Ozempic or taken Manjaro, this is a really big, and what's the other one? Wegovy. This is a really big topic that people do constantly bring up to me, and I'm really passionate about showing you guys how to get off of those weight loss drugs, because there's not enough testing right now to know what the long-term damage is going to be. People have already started showing up with blindness, vision. I know vision loss, lymph node problems on their thyroid, just getting all kind of gallbladder problems, super bad, severe abdominal pain, which can lead to hospitalization, dehydration. I think somebody talked about yesterday. So let's dive into what is it that you can do when you're getting off. And this doctor, he is so great. He's so wonderful about diving deep on your health and how you can do these things naturally. He even has videos. This literally, he's been in the corporate world, right? And then he was tired of having to meet this quota of reaching out to his client or his patients saying you need to take this prescription drug, and saying I don't want to meet a quota to get kickbacks for the office or what have you, to get on my patients on these drugs that are going to hurt them in the long run. So he went off, started doing holistic deep diving, and how can you get better if you are borderline diabetic, or if you're diabetic, or if you have a inactive thyroid, or if you have lowered testosterone, lowered estrogen, all of these things. And everything that he does is an approach to how your body can handle it and do it on its own naturally. And clients that have come to me that we have worked on from the start, where they're diabetic or borderline diabetic, or they've got a plethora, high blood pressure, they've got arthritis, or a plethora of things, right? And they're on so many medications. And the goal from the start to, I'd say, 6 months to a year at the very, very most. That's a slow roll. But usually within 6 months, we've dropped those medications by half. We've lowered those doses if they haven't gotten off them completely. And all of that was done mostly 3 days a week, just light workouts. Then we went into some more extreme stuff. But at the start, it was just 3 days a week, light workouts, and then getting on that intermittent fasting schedule. Those are the ways that you can get to your goal without having to take these harmful drugs that you do not know the side effects. But if you have taken those drugs and you do have those, and you are worried about getting those side effects and you want to get off, but your doctor says you can't, or you're going to gain all the weight back, this is the episode for you. So if this is for you, or you have someone, a loved one, that this is something that speaks to them and their message, please do send this. Sharing is caring. Share this with them so they can also learn about this too. So this is going to be Dr. Berg. This is who we're going to dive into. Let me share this screen. Thank you, Hal. Aw, thanks. Let's see. Let's go right here to Dr. Berg. And I am going to come back over here. Let's see. We'll go to maintaining weight loss. Here we go. This one.
Today we're going to talk about...
Okay. Click it back over here to you guys. And let me make this a bit bigger just so you guys can see me from there. Okay. Oh, thanks, Hal. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the love. Hey, Tina. Hey, girl. What's going on? Good to see you. Aw, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for the donation. Ooh, I'm going to mess that name up. Sizzling in Texas. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for first timers that are just here. Welcome, welcome. Yes. Okay. So here we go. This is Dr. Berg, and he is deep dive on this on so many topics, so many times, but maintaining weight loss after Ozempic. And he is the guy who I'm always turning to. I know the information is going to be tried and true, and there's been plenty of testing and plenty of information. He backs everything up with science and with all the testing. He is so great. All of these videos that I show you guys are always going to be on my YouTube channel at Kara Chris TV. You have to put the @ symbol. Chris is like CHRIS TV, and it's under podcast infovids. And that's also where you can see all the past podcasts. But yesterday's is a part 1 to this. This is kind of a follow-up on that. But yesterday was all about that, how to make natural Manjaro with natural ingredients that actually benefit like a super juice for your body. And so that's yesterday. So you guys can go back and check out episode 35. So this is him talking about what many of you have messaged to me about is, can I get off this shot? And if I get off this shot, how do I not gain all the weight back that my doctor is saying is going to happen? That's not necessarily true. Don't let them scare you into staying on that shot. Here we go. Hey, Bo, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's dive in. Here we go.
What to do if you were on Ozempic, you lost the weight, and now you want to maintain the weight. There's some huge benefits with Ozempic, but there's some huge problems too that you need to be aware of. So Ozempic is something called a GLP-1 agonist. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it mimics a certain hormone in your small intestine that does like 3 things. It increases insulin, which is automatically going to lower your blood sugar. Number 2, it's going to tell your brain you are totally full. So your appetite goes away. And that's interesting because, if someone's trying to do a diet with an appetite, it's literally torturous. So without the appetite, it makes things totally easy. So it has delayed gastric emptying. Okay. So food sits in there a lot longer than it should. And this is why There's a lot of side effects with your GI system. My whole philosophy has always been get healthy, then lose the weight.
So, oh, just to break that down even more, even though he's so great at it, is it's a hormone inside your lower intestine. That's it. Isn't this so wild? So it's just these one little tiny hormones that are in the smaller intestine that controls all of your dynamics between your stomach and your brain to say that you're hungry or you're not hungry. And that's really it. That's truly it behind the weight loss shot, is that it's just taking that away. So same thing as when you're doing fasting, you start intermittent fasting and then you're going into a deeper fast. You kind of slow roll your way, like shrinking your window. You can get the same results. You can do the same thing. It might take you a little bit longer, but it's going to be healthier. And yes, it is very mind struggling in the beginning. It's a simple task, but it is not easy because you have to retrain your mind. And even sometimes you go through the physical of it too. It's not just the mental. It's not just you telling your mind, I'm not hungry. If you can look down and you can see that your body has stuff to feed off of, you got to tell yourself, I don't need to put anything else in my mouth, especially if you're someone that has ailments, right? Like you've got a lower back pains, or you got neck pains, or arthritis, or inflammation in your knees or your hips or your joints. You need your body to work on those things, but it can't work on those things because you're constantly giving it another task to work on the food that you're putting in. So by not putting that food in, not only is your body going to feed off of the fat you already have, but it's also going to have time to work on the ailments that you have to make you feel better. So that's why the intermittent fasting and the fasting is 1,000,000% going to be better for you in the long run, because you are going to get healthier. You're going to get your blood sugars down. You're going to get your insulin down. You're going to get your inflammation in check. You're going to get your gut and your biodome in check. So many benefits, but you have to be mentally ready to do it and say you're worth it and give back to your body and stop breaking it down like that, because you can do it. I'm a foodie too. I've been there. I've been over 200 pounds. And I'm telling you, once you're there and you know what that feels like, you don't want to go back. You don't. You just have to keep reminding yourself. If you start to go on that binge, you got to say, what are you? Just get into something else. Pick up a hobby, get outside, do gardening, do something else. Something else. You have to get your mind on something else. You just do. That's just the only way it's going to work. You have to find something else to occupy your brain, or you're going to keep going back to the same thing, because food is comfort. Food is excitement because you release that serotonin, that good dopamine rush. It's a thing. It's an addiction. It's an addiction. And we have to stop it, you have to fill that void with something else that's also as exciting for you. And then it takes your mind off of it. It's literally the only way down that path to righteousness is to find a way around not wanting to sit around and put food in your mouth. It's just how that goes. Okay, let's continue. I love this guy.
Versus lose weight and get healthy. A lot of people will end up losing a lot of muscle mass, sometimes up to 50% of their muscle mass, while they're also losing body fat. So that really actually leaves them with a ratio of fat to muscle being not that good. So let's first talk about protein. Why do we need protein? Well, we need protein to keep our muscles strong, and also we need muscle to keep our metabolism higher. And so if you're trying to lose weight, let's say after menopause, and you already have lost a lot of muscle, let's say you have atrophy, a lot of women lose muscle after menopause, and then you do this drug thing, and you don't really have a lot of extra muscle to spare, you could see the problem. So what you don't need is, you don't need necessarily protein, you need amino acids. Okay, that's the building block of protein. You want bioavailable protein. So this is why I always recommend animal protein. High quality, red meat, eggs, fish, things like that. An average person needs about 0.8 at a very minimum to like 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body mass. So let's just pretend, just to give you a rough number, you had 185 pounds of lean body mass. That means that at a very bare minimum, you need about 67 grams of protein. Now, here's another confusion people have. They'll take like a steak and they'll weigh like 67 grams. No, that's the weight of the steak. You got to realize like half that steak or more is water and other things. So we're talking about the amino acids, the protein inside that steak. You're only going to get 77 to 115 grams of protein. That's like 1/4 of the total weight of that meat. I mean, even like one egg is like 7 grams of protein. If you're on the drug, you have to make sure you eat enough protein. And when you get off the medication, you have to make sure you have enough protein to manage this muscle. So we have the type of protein, we have the amount of protein, and then we also have exercise. Exercise is the greatest stimulus of muscle mass. You also need various hormones, because if you're going through menopause or you're a guy who's getting older, like you're 60 years old, your testosterone goes down. For women, their estrogen goes down, progesterone goes down. All those hormones help you maintain muscle mass. A really important factor to maintain that muscle mass as you get older is to make sure you're, of course, exercising, getting enough quality protein, but also keeping your hormones in check. And the raw material to make all these hormones is cholesterol. So a lot of times people, they go, oh, I'm just going to go lean protein, right? And omit the cholesterol piece of it. Not the smartest thing to do, because then you're going to cause more suffering of your hormones, testosterone especially, and estrogen.
That's important.
Because all of these hormones are made from a precursor, which is cholesterol. This is why the ketogenic diet is so important, especially if you're coming off Ozempic, because we want to keep that insulin low so we can burn more fat between the meals and your appetite goes away naturally. So that's why we recommend a low carbohydrate and less frequent meals as an intermittent fasting. We have cholesterol that turns into two other precursors for hormones, like pregnenolone and DHEA. Both of those can be taken as supplements to help if you need them. I'm not going to focus on that in this video, but there are things that you can do to beef up your hormones, no pun intended. Number one, you have to be aware that Ozempic tricks your body into thinking it's full. Okay, so then your appetite goes down and you may not have enough of the right foods and you might suffer from that. It also has side effects called gastroparesis, which is a slowing down of your digestive system, constipation, gallbladder problems, thyroid tumors, thyroid cancer.
All that.
Your cravings will go away, but there's also potential after you come off the drug of having certain things be permanent. It sounds like a great, wonderful miracle cure, but it comes with a huge package. If you're coming off Ozempic and you want to maintain the weight, highly recommend you do the ketogenic diet, you do intermittent fasting, you do weight training to actually keep your muscle strong. So if you're watching this video, you're probably at the point now where you need the details of what to eat. And for that information, check out this video right here.
So, oops, let me pause this. Okay. So literally all those things, right? So when you're coming off of Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and you should already be at a lower, because you're already shrinking your stomach. You're doing everything as if your body was fasting on its own, but you weren't fasting. So it shouldn't be that difficult. I've known several people just friends that have come off of it and been fine, as long as you don't go back to eating how you were before. You stop eating when you're full. You just get involved in something that's physical, whether it's walking or some strength training or both. Getting physical is huge, and maintaining. That's it. Don't let your doctors scare you into staying on that drug, especially with these horrible side effects nobody wants to deal with. You don't want to go into surgeries and possibly have your gallbladder and your thyroid removed, and who knows what to come. Thyroid cancer is, it's nothing to joke about. So I definitely feel like, since you've already been on it, and I know people that have been on it that go with the advice of stick to an intermittent fasting schedule, do some getting involved in some type of workouts, right? And you're going to be fine. You're going to be able to get off of it and maintain it. It's not like you're going to be on it and then you get off of it and you're going to go yeah, if you go ham with all this, like all that fatty big time, processed food stuff that you were eating to get you in that space to start with, or a low thyroid, or whatever the situation you had to get you on there to start with. Yeah, if you go back down that path, of course, it's you can't. What is the terminology? You can't do the same thing and expect a different result. So, just maintaining. You must be eating less. I've not heard of anybody being on this that still continues to eat the same because they don't feel like it. They're not they don't have an appetite like that. So, I mean, that's the main goal of it. So, you can do it by sticking to a good regimen of intermittent fasting. You still eat your foods that you're eating, paying attention to when you're full. When you're full, stop eating. That's it. When you're full, just stop eating. You don't have to clear your plate, pack it up, and eat it for a snack later or have it for dinner or whatever. Save it for the next day. But when you're full, this is a big thing I talk to my clients about. When you're full, stop eating. It's not like the old school where I know my father grew up with being told, of course, he had 9 siblings, and you ate what was on your plate because you don't waste your food and you're grateful for having food and that whole thing. But you ate what was on your plate. Don't do that. Eat until you're full. Your stomach should be so much smaller than it was before because you have absolutely started a new program within there. Hey, wait, what's up? What's up, Lil Ricky? Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, I know. Welcome, welcome. Yes, this is a podcast to help you living your best life from the inside out. We are talking about Ozempic, Wegovy, and all that, and how to lose that weight and get in shape without taking that stuff. That's all natural and literally saves you money, and you don't spend a dime. So that's what we're on about. This next guy, or this next video that I'm going to show you from Dr. Berg, is all about doing just that. So this was yesterday. I don't know if you remember us talking about how you can make your own Manjaro from 4 ingredients. If you guys missed yesterday's podcast, you should go back and watch that. That's episode 35. But everything's on YouTube at Kara Chris TV. But that one's a really good one because that one's on the doctor's panel where we talked about patients and clients that have been using this, that have been having the same results because these 4 ingredients are doing the same thing inside of you that the Manjaro weight loss shot does without any of the side effects. And not only without those, but benefiting your life in full, like you wouldn't believe. You got to read all of the things. I put it on my YouTube yesterday at the whole layout and the 4 ingredients. So make sure you guys go do and check that out. I'll try and pop that on TikTok too. And what's up, Mars? Good to see you here. But we will be talking about the things to do if you are on Manjaro or you can't afford those weight loss shots. Here's how you can do it without having to spend a dime on any of that stuff. You can do it all natural and gain so many benefits. What's up, McKenna? Thanks for joining. Okay, so here's the guy that I always go to. It is my go-to guy, and Dr. Berg right here. So the best Manjaro alternative.
I recently did a video on Ozempic, but now I want to do a video on Mounjaro. Now, Mounjaro is a very similar medication. Apparently, in several studies, it works a little bit better than Ozempic. More weight loss, less time. Both these medications were primarily used for regulating blood sugars with diabetes, but they also found that it helps you lose weight, which makes sense because anything that improves blood sugars will obviously help you lose weight. So the first thing I want to say is Mounjaro does create some really interesting effects with weight loss and blood sugars. There's no doubt. Actually, it can even improve insulin resistance and decrease your A1C, which is an average blood sugar for 3 months. So I'm not going to say that it doesn't work, but it's expensive. It's like $1,000 to
Even more than
$1,300
that.
a month. And it does
Yeah.
come with other side effects other than just being expensive. But the big question is, what happens when you come off the medication? Does it actually correct the problem? The answer is no. You have to keep taking it for it to work. Do
which
you
is
end up taking it the
crazy.
rest of your life? Is it healthy? What
Yeah.
are the long-term effects? Well, we don't know. But the short-term effects are the following: nausea, vomiting,
Mhm.
diarrhea, constipation, gastroparesis, which is a situation where your stomach is a bit paralyzed. Food goes through very, very slowly. Another side effect would be abdominal pain, dizziness, lethargy, low blood sugar, as in hypoglycemia. Various kidney problems, like kidney disease, could happen as well.
So here's the thing, right? Like people think, "Oh, I'm going to take this and this isn't going to apply to me." And you know, they end up on this for 6, 8 months. And now I have patients, clients that are calling me saying, "Hey, I don't want to be on this anymore. I'm starting to lose my vision." Or I just went into the doctor and I have a lump on my thyroid. So, I mean, these people have been on it for 8 months and one of them a little over 12 months, maybe 13 months. I mean, in the end, okay, yeah, it got you where you wanna be, but when you have these things happening to you, right? And then your doctor's saying, "Well, if you wanna stay this weight, you gotta stay on it." No. This is how I'm trying to this is a method that you can do. I know I've done it. I've done it with my patients. I've done it with people that come to me and they're trying to get off of this, people that are in way worse situations and they're recorrecting it naturally with going through this process. And this is the same process I would use with any of my clients, any of them. So I'm telling you, it's not just something that this doctor is talking about. It's just a method that he's already been talking about that I also agree with and share with my patients, my clients, however you want to call it, and it's been tried and true. So, what's up, Dio? Thank you for joining. So you can do that. You don't have to be on this drug all the time. You don't even have to do this drug to get to where you want to be. It's really simple what we do. What I do with my clients is put them on a intermittent fasting schedule. So what you probably don't even know about yourself is just try this, okay? Just try this. If you've never even tried intermittent fasting, you don't know what it is, whatever. Just when you wake up or even when you think back today, when did I eat first, right? When did I put the first bite of food in my mouth? And when's the last time that I normally eat? Do you late night snack? Are you like eating for 16 hours or however long you're awake? Are you always eating? Are you always snacking? And then you sleep for your 7, 8 hours or what have you. Some people only sleep for 4 or 5 hours and they're eating the other entire time. So, what happens when you're eating, right? You are now taking away all those workers inside your body that are trying to go and help you aid in whatever it is. You've got inflammation, you're having neck problems, you got joint problems, you got whatever ailments you got going on in your body. You can't think clearly, you're always foggy, you forget things everywhere, you're always tired, you're irritable, you're moody, you're depression or manic depressant or whatever, and your moods are always out of whack because A, you're not probably getting enough sleep. B, you're eating so much, your body always, all these workers inside take a break. They're like, "Oh, shoot, we got food." The food is the first thing they tend to, that you put it down the chute. Everybody has to take a break on what they were working on and come, and now they got to break that food down. They got to get all that food where it's going, like delivering packages at Amazon, right? So now they're spending their time doing that. And then once they finally are done with that process and they start to go find something else to do, which is maybe like within an hour, now you're eating something else. It can never catch a break to go and do what it needs to do. So what's getting out of control? Your inflammation, your pain's not going away. So what do? You take ibuprofen, or maybe you're getting on a prescription drug, or now you're manic depressant or depressant or bipolar when you probably couldn't have, maybe could have had that in check a little bit more. So now you're on antidepressants and then you're on high blood pressure pills. You see with that? And how with my clients, when they come, we sit down, we talk about their medical history and we sit down and talk about all the prescriptions they're on and all the things. If they haven't within the first at least 8 months, 6 months, 8 months, lessen those by half. And some of them they've gotten off completely just by being more aware of what they put in their mouth, starting to substitute some of those like crackers, Debbie treats, stuff like that with some more healthy options. So now you're cutting back on that insulin. They're bringing that insulin down, that sugar, and then they're shrinking their window of when they're eating. So now you're giving your body more time. So let's just say you wake up in the morning. Do you have to put food in your mouth? Are you actually hungry, or is it just a routine that you're used to doing? If you can start your first meal a little bit later in the day, having coffee or whatever the tea or whatever you have in the morning, no juices, coffee, water, or tea, having that, not sweet tea, like you Southerners out there, having in the your first, pushing it back as late as you can and trying to keep it in a 10-hour window to start. If you could get to that 8-hour window, that's even better. 8-hour window from the time you put the first food in your mouth. I'm not even taking for right now. If you're coming to me just now and you're a new client, I'm not even going to take any of the food away that you're already eating. All I'm going to do is shrink your window and say from the time you put your first bite of food in your mouth to the last bite of food, I want that to be 10 hours. Okay? That's what I want. I want 10 hours. That's a big window when you think about it. 10 hours of eating, that sounds like a lot, but if you pay attention to how you eat in a day, you might be so shocked of how many hours a day you spend eating. It's really will blow your mind. And then all I'm doing is from that, I want you to stay in an 8-hour window. So we take an hour away the next week, and the next week you should be fine. And that is when you're going to be motivated anyway, because you're going to be like, wow, I'm already seeing a difference. I'm already feeling a difference. I'm feeling a little more euphoric in my brain. I'm more clear and sharp minded. I have more energy. Like it's astronomical what's happening. And all we did at this point was just shrink your eating window, right? Not crazy. Like still eating out. If you eat fast food, whatever. I didn't even move anything yet, right? And then it motivates you to be like, okay, I got this. I don't need to have takeout or fast food all day. Let me just have it one time today and then my snacks or whatever. So you start to adjust it on your own because you see the magic happening in front of your eyes. And really, it's just about the food in and the energy out. It is so simple of a concept, but it is very difficult for especially us Americans to do because we're so used to having food around us at all times, anytime we want. You go out, there's food, right? You can even have it delivered right to you. You don't even need to leave your house. So it really comes down to something so simple like that. It sounds so simple, but there's no extra drugs involved or anything. The weight will start coming off, especially the more you shrink the intake of your sugar. Boy, I'm telling you right now, it starts to fly off and then you start to be like, wow, I lost all this weight and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling sharp. What's up, you guys? Thanks for joining me over on TikTok. I'm starting to feel sharp and full of energy and euphoric. Like literally, if you go, and this is gonna really blow your mind. If you go 18 hours without eating, it doesn't sound crazy in your mind. Like I can go 18 hours without eating. From the time you don't even eat your food until dinner. Since you went to bed, woke up, and you don't even have food until dinner, you watch at that hour 18, right? When you get to hour 18 or 19, watch what happens. All I'm going to do is throw that challenge out to you. All I'm doing is throwing that challenge. You go to that 18th, 19th hour. That's it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just one time. Just one time and feel what happens. Your body immediately releases this type of energy and euphoria like you have never felt before naturally, if you know what I'm saying. This is the beauty and the gift that your body is meant to do because in the last hour of being feast and famine, right? Our bodies, God makes our bodies to be in this powerful state. Like you got to go out and hunt for your food. You need energy, you need focus, you need clarity. So, what happens at that 18th, 19th hour, it's usually between either of those two with any given person. It is insane. You think you need our brains are programmed, right? You need all of this food for energy all the time, but it's the wrong type of foods that we're eating, and it's not making us have energy. It's making us feel lethargic and slow and tired and irritable. And now people that weren't depressed before are depressed, or they're on antidepressants, which raises your blood sugar. So now they get you hooked on too. It raises your blood pressure. So now they get you hooked on too. So now they're like racking in the bank. You're feeding into the whole system. They want you on these things. They want you on these things because that feeds their bank account, but it's making you sick and sicker. These are options you can do that are all natural. And I'm not just saying just to say it. I've gone through the process of learning it, getting licensed for it, teaching it, preaching it, and living it. I used to be over 200 pounds myself. There is no time that I have ever felt worse about myself. And then when I discovered intermittent fasting, and fasting changed my life. Literally, it changed my life. It changed my health. I mean, it's incredible because literally what I'm talking about here is eating less. Not working out more. I wasn't even working out then. I was so embarrassed of myself. I was so tired. I wasn't even thinking about working out. That wasn't even on my plate. Literally, everything else was on my plate but that. And that got me into my worst status of my life. And this is something that I do with my clients, no matter how much they have to lose when they come to me. 150 pounds they need to lose 200 pounds, or they need to lose 30 pounds. It doesn't matter the weight as long as you just put one foot in front of the other. I'm all about those small feats to get those big rewards. That's it. Small feats to get those big rewards. I don't walk you to the base of Mount Everest and say, we're climbing that. I walk you to a little tiny molehill and say, can we do this today? Can we do this today? And you're like, what? Yeah, of course. What? Are you kidding me? I can walk that all day. Then before you know it, after we've done all these little molehills, I say, look back and you're at the top of that mountain. You see what I'm saying? Don't overwhelm yourself with it. It's not that serious. You just need to do one little thing, one little change at a time. Do not overwhelm yourself because that's what sends you backwards. That's what sends you into a place where you're binging, right? You're going back on that binge, you're back on that path. You're feeling bad about yourself. You're going back down a spiraling. Food is a drug. It's an addiction. It really is. It can kill you just like drugs. It can kill you. It's a slow kill, but it can kill you in the way of cancer, in the way of your organs exploding, in a way of all of the ailments that can go wrong just from the food that you put in. Welcome. Thank you guys. What's up, Manuel? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Bridge? What's up, Hussein? Mars, Daniel, Geneva. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. So we're talking about living that best life from the inside out. And I really am so excited to have you guys join me. Sorry, I tried to read off all those names as quick as I could. Okay, let's continue on. These are the side effects I'm showing you on the screen of what can happen if you stay on that Ozempic or whatever those shots are. Never mind, they're expensive. Okay. If you stay on them like the doctor wants you to, if you're on Ozempic, it's 24,000 something, almost $23,000 a year to stay on that. If you're on Wegovy or Manjaro, I think it's around 18,000, which is crazy. What would you do with that money? Right? What else? If you knew that you could get there by just some mental focus and some tweaking with your day, with your food, what would you do with that money? Would you get a car? Would you get I don't know, one of those little trailer, what is it? Camper houses, live that camper life, get the van, go on a trip, go on a vacation. What would you do with that money? You know, that's a lot, especially for something that the only thing that it's doing, it's not enhancing your body to have a quicker metabolism, to have a better anything. Literally, all it's doing is making you not hungry anymore and breaking down your body in a very serious way that's causing these very serious side effects that are irreversible. That's what the doctors are telling you to stay on forever. Once you get to the point where at that thyroid cancer, unless you're ready to dive deep on what I'm about to tell you and reverse it in any way that you possibly can, and it can be done if you actually devote your time and your mind to it, because your body is so intelligent. And if you start treating it right and doing right by it, it will respond like fast. it will respond. But it takes that mental willpower, and you have to be ready to do that. Hold on, let's just finish what he has to say.
And even retinopathy, which is a problem with your retina. Let me just kind of touch on that for a second, the slow metabolism. People that have a
Going
slow
blind.
metabolism actually have a very efficient metabolism, probably from dieting in the past. You go on some diet, and then your body adapts and compensates, especially if you go
What's
on a
up,
lower
Danielle? Thanks for
calorie
joining.
diet, and then becomes more efficient. So now it can run on a smaller amount of fuel. It doesn't want to waste this energy. So it's very conservative. So it's like a car that gets a lot of miles per gallon, right? Versus the very inefficient motor, which is a gas guzzler. So this is really a survival thing that we have in our genetics.
Thank you,
So
Kat.
anything like fat storage is survival to the body. And so anytime you try to lose weight, the body will resist it because you're getting rid of this potential survival. So when we use a drug to bypass this whole mechanism to try to help you lose weight, you really have to understand what's happening to the body internally. You're artificially mimicking these two hormones because these drugs act to mimic two different hormones that are in your small intestine. One is called GLP-1 and the other one is called GIP. They're drugs that mimic these hormones. So my question is it possible to create this similar effect but without the side effects? Can you use something more natural? Is there such a thing as some type of
What's up,
maybe
Peace
herbal
Michael?
or plant-based agonist for these two hormones? And the answer is yes, there is. And I put a link down below of the research on that. And it's called phytomedicine. You're using plants as medicine. But the cool thing about it is there's very minimal toxicity. And there's all sorts of properties, especially things that relate to blood sugar control and many other effects in plants. I mean, there's probably about at least 400 different chemicals that can help blood sugars from different angles. These two hormones that these drugs are mimicking raise insulin to lower the blood sugar and also reduce the production of glucose from the liver. That's called gluconeogenesis. And they also affect the digestive system. They actually make you feel full. They help reduce the appetite. So it's going to curb your hunger and help you eat less. So my question is, number one, is there something non-toxic without the side effects? And is there something you can do long-term to create this same effect to add it as a part of your
What's up,
long-term
Maxim? What's up,
healthy
P-Dog?
lifestyle
Thanks for joining.
instead of a short-term, very expensive drug approach? And I forgot to mention lowered stomach acids. So when you start lowering your stomach acids, that's going to create all sorts of issues with ability to digest protein, absorb minerals, kill pathogens. So there's a whole series of consequences that can happen just from
So
that.
he's
So
talking about the
I
side
always like to
effects
think long term. Is that
of
the best long term solution for a person? I understand that you're
Ozempic and Wegovy and all of those, and how to get on that fast track of losing weight and getting your health in check without taking those things and feeling even better than ever. The challenge that I threw out there earlier was saying if you go 18, 19 hours without eating, right? With just to see what I'm talking about. Just you don't have to do that. You don't do that every day, unless of course you so desire. Will be the fastest way you can stop. You can start losing all that fat stored. That is the most aggressive way that you can start doing that. There's no harm in doing that. It is only going to benefit you. But when you get, it's almost like replacing the short-lived dopamine that is released when you eat your food. You get like 15 minutes of a rush, right? You feel good. That's why people are addicted to food, because it gives them when they're sad or when they're stressed or whatever, an emotional eating is because you are addicted to that good dopamine, that serotonin that's released in your body that makes you feel good and like give you that little high, that little happy high. But it only lasts for a little tiny short bit, few minutes, and then it's done. And then what are you left with? The doubt, the regret, the self-hate, all of the things that downward spirals. And then what? You're creating that emotion again. And you're throwing all of your levels out of whack. You're releasing that insulin that's going up. And now the cortisone for the stress that you're feeling, all of that plays a huge factor in storing that fat. And when you store that fat into those fat storage tanks, those are the ones that are the hardest to get rid of. Not just fat from food, but fat from high insulin levels, lots of sugar, and then your cortisol. You don't want to go there. It's really the best thing you can do is just give this one little challenge a go. And that is trying not to eat. Find something else to do. Try not to eat for that 18 hours in the day, right? Just from the time you wake up, you don't eat until dinner. Just try that. From the time you count from the time you went to sleep, count all that. So let's just say you slept 8 hours, right? So then you're going to tack on another 8 hours in the beginning of your day once you wake up. If you want to keep sleeping and all the way through the day, if that's your method, but try the 18-hour challenge of not eating and wait till all of those benefits hit you in your mind, the clarity, you feel like you just took a shot of adrenaline. And that's natural. That's just your body's natural way to respond to, thank you for giving me all this time. I've had all this time to work on all the ailments. I've had all this time to burn this fat. And now I'm going to reward you. You need to get out there and get that energy. You got to get focused, because what back in the day, how God created our bodies was, if you've gone for a long period of time and you haven't had any food, we need to give you that energy and that focus to go out and hunt, right? So you have to be clear-minded. So what happens is the release of your body. And not only that, you feel so proud of yourself that you did it. It's insane what happens. It really, and the only way to truly get you to understand what I'm saying is to give it a go. I just remember my sister, when I finally got her on the intermittent fasting train. She was trying to get off of her thyroid medication. It was like making her whacked out. Also, another client of mine who was on the antidepressants and then on blood pressure pills and then on pre-diabetic, got her ready to roll by just doing intermittent fasting. And then both parties, this has just happened recently, so that's why it's fresh on my mind, called me up like, what's happening? Oh my gosh. I feel like I want to start a new business. I want to write a new song. And my sister's a musician. I'm writing new music that I was stuck on. I couldn't get past the loop. And the other one, she does something in marketing. And she was like, I can't believe it. Like, I've been stuck on this whole marketing campaign and how to take all these pieces and intertwine. I couldn't get there. And now I'm seeing clearly and I'm there and I'm so excited and I'm full of energy and I'm full of focus and I'm like on cloud nine. What it's released in your body, all natural, is addicting in itself. And that is the beautiful part, because when you can feel how your body's supposed to feel from not putting food in it all the time, it's incredible. And I challenge you to do it. That's my daily challenge for you. Just give it a go. What's up, not Kyle? What's up, Isabel? Thanks for joining. So that's it. Just trying that challenge. Try to go. And if today you already ate, which I'm sure a lot of you already have, if you've already eaten today, try it tomorrow. Go to sleep. You got to count the time that you're sleeping, unless you get up and you're like snacking in the middle of the night, like sleepwalking and snacking. Sorry, my phone just fell over. Look, start your time frame. That is included in your 18 hours. Okay. The 18 hours is included with your time that you're sleeping. And then when you wake up, starting there from counting the rest of the hours out. Try it. I need you to try that. Try it for yourself. Don't try it for me. And then learn what your body does for you and how you can actually feel on a daily basis. And you don't have to go to that extent, but that's how it's going to feel once you get your insulin levels down. Everything that's going to happen in your body and that's in that time frame is going to be so incredible. You will be able to feel and see the results yourself. And now that's just one day, right? So imagine you taking your days and taking control of your days and being like, I really do eat for 17 hours a day. That's crazy. So starting your days, I do this with my patients, starting your days off a little later before you start that first food. You can have your coffee, tea, water, starting it later, and then go as long as you can before you're eating. And then from that moment, you got 10 hours to get the last meal in. That doesn't mean gobble it all up. That means have that whatever late breakfast, early lunch, maybe a lunch. Try and cut out the snacking. If you can't, whatever. If you're not there yet, but I'm trying to tell you, the more you dive in deep And the more that you tell yourself, I don't need that, and you got to retrain your brain. It really is, it's reestablishing a relationship with your body, saying, I'm sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry that I have not given you the time and the space to heal me the way that you need to. And I've pumped all these medications, and now these medications are giving me all these horrible side effects that you don't even maybe know about yet. But look at how many people are having cancer these days. Growing up, I never knew this many people that had cancer. Like, never. It's the foods we eat and it's the medications that we're taking. So, if you can cut both of those out, imagine the life you can live. Like, that's what this channel is all about. It's not about feeding into something that's going to cost you more money. It's going to save you money. That's going to put something like you have to go purchase this program or whatever. No, it's just simple steps to take that you can do right now. Like, literally, you can start today. You can be like, the last thing I'm gonna do is just eat that meal, and then I'm gonna start my challenge tomorrow and see if I can go until dinner to eat nothing, and start being aware of all the times. If you can look down, yes, your stomach might be growling, but that's just a natural process because it's used to you having food coming down the tank. So it's preparing, it's getting the acids already ready in there. You might even have a little bit of a nauseous feeling. If you get up and walk around, that nausea feeling goes away quickly. You just have to get up and start moving and drink some water, and that'll go away. And that nausea feeling is only because of the acid going into your stomach and ready to take down the food that you're used to giving it. But your body will respond quickly. Within the week, it's going to start subsiding because it's going to say, okay, she's not or he's not bringing that food in. It's not coming down the chute. So here I go. I'm just going to walk it off, and I'm going to let it leave. I'm going to lead with my brain and not with my stomach. I'm going to tell my body and my brain, don't worry. I'm not going to put more food in you right now. I can look down and see I got plenty of fat storage for my body to feed off of. That's what our bodies are meant to do. We store that fat because it's meant to be for fuel, to be able to keep our bodies moving in times of famine. It's feast and famine, right? Where you're having all this food and your body holds on to it because you might go back in the day, back when we were created, you might go 3-4 days without eating. So your body needs that food stored on it so it can continue to survive. So you got to let it eat. You're not going to hurt yourself. You got to let your body eat what you already have. What's going to happen is your inflammation will be in check. Your ailments are going to stop feeling. People that have had arthritis that come to me and get on my program, literally, and this is my program. I'm telling you my program right now for free. They have had carpal tunnel and the worst arthritis where their fingers are like all bent up. You ever see people's fingers all bent up like that? To moving their fingers freely, like full motion, freedom in their hands, no cortisol shots, no creams, expensive creams that the doctors give them, any of that. Being able to get all of that in check from changing what they put in their mouth and shrinking the time that they're eating. It is a game changer. And you find other things to do. You got a hobby, you got something you always wanted to do, go do it. You got something that you can do that's not going to keep your mind focused on, because a lot of us are boredom eaters. They're bored. So how many times have you sat down and watch a show or a movie and you're like, oh, I need to have a snack. I need to have something. Oh, you don't. You don't. You can have an apple cider vinegar cocktail. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all that have been on my channel often, y'all know what I'm talking about here. Sorry, my hairband just broke. Apple cider vinegar cocktail is going to be your best friend. And if you guys didn't catch it yesterday, go back and watch yesterday's podcast, episode 35. I give you the breakdown on how to make all natural Manjaro. You're not shooting up. You can either make a little cocktail mix out of it. It's just 4 different herbs, all natural. Doctors studied. Doctors have already been doing these testings on. First of all, they tested on the animals to make sure, and they mimic the same type of things, but in a positive way. You have to go and check out my list at Kara Chris TV on YouTube. I put everything there. Make your own. I think I spent like $50 for the all organic everything. That includes all 4 things, and that's going to last a month. I'm sorry, that's going to last 2 months with how many vitamins come in each thing. It's literally Like, for real, you guys. Doctors proven it does the same kind of thing, keeping your blood sugar in check, lowering your blood sugar, helping block when you put sugars in your body or high carbohydrates, blocking it from being absorbed and pushing it out of your body instead. Like all of these major benefits from, I mean, talking about all the way from the spectrum of just the simple like headaches or neck pains or arthritis, like we talk about, all the way to cancer, the start of cancer. Your body, you've been told that. Dive deep on this, you guys. Dive deep. Everything that I have that we talk about here, I post on my podcast info vids on my YouTube channel, and I put links so you guys can all know where to go and you can dive deep on your own. But you better know if you're coming to Behind the Layers podcast that is what I do. I dive deep on all these topics. I go to trusted resources and I find people that have already been doing testing on this for years and years, and there has been positive results and there is positive information about it that is helping heal people. Apple cider vinegar is one of those things that have been centuries around. The apple cider vinegar so I put apple cider vinegar, right, in a glass like this, 8-ounce glass. I put half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and then I put some lemon juice and then just water and ice, right? Drink that up. Anytime I'm feeling like I want to dive in, maybe the kids brought cupcakes or like some kind of candies or something home from school. I don't try and keep that stuff at all in the pantry because if it's there, it will be eaten. Even with my kids, I don't want them having cancer in 20 years just because they've been eating this crap that's like literal poison. Look, I grew up on Debbie treats and all kinds of stuff. Like literally every day before I was either going to dance practice or a sport, I played basketball, volleyball, softball, I ran track. My go-to was, and it's the worst, Snickers bar and a Mountain Dew because that gave me enough sugar between the two of those. And I eat that every day after school and before practice because it gave me enough sugar to power through before I got home to then do my homework and eat dinner and all that stuff. So I know I'm like living proof that there are exceptions to the rules. However, I was also working out extremely and burning all of that stuff off. I wouldn't just eat that and then sit around. It was an extreme workout sesh after that stuff was happening. Remember, we're just shrinking their window. Okay. If I'm giving you my expertise advice right now, that's what we're here. As a nutritionist, as a health coach, as a fitness trainer, I'm coming to you with all of the things and giving it to you here for free. And I'm telling you, if you want to live your best life from the inside out, you can. And you have the power, no one else. It's almost like somebody who smokes, right? Telling them, try this, try it, like do all these other things and quit smoking. They're not going to stop for you. They have to start for them. Just like you. You have to start. You have to stop with the food for yourself. You can't do it for anybody else. It has to be something you're ready to do on your own. And you can do it. You can do it. I am the worst with the food. I'm terrible. I want to eat that crap all the time. Like literally, it's a daily choice. It's a day at this point now. I've been good for so long. When I eat it, it tastes weird. I can taste the plastic or I can taste the stuff that is poison inside. I can taste it. Before I was so primed that I wasn't, but now, and same thing that clients I have gotten off of soda. They've been addicted to soda. This one girl in particular, she was literally woke up with one of those big gulps from the gas station. That's what she had. That's how she started her day. All that sugar, all that processed food coloring and all that stuff that's in there. It came to a point where she was like, "All right, I'm ready." I was already training her, but that was the part she was missing. She's like, all right, and this is somebody saying, I could never go without eating for that long. I could never not wake up and eat my food. Like I want to eat my biscuit and gravy and have my big gulp and that kind of life. I could never. And then coming to the point we're saying, you know what? I'm seeing the benefits because all of our other family members were also doing this process, and she was seeing in real time the results that they were getting. And all they were doing was intermittent fasting. They were just shrinking their window, right? So, and then cutting out the sugary things like that. There are other family members that wanted what's the mix of like lemonade and sweet tea, Sunjoy or something like that at Chick-fil-A. They would go get the big gulps of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you might as well just eat a whole cream pie or, go have an entire dessert tray. Like, rather than having that one drink, it's the same. So they cut those things out and she saw it in real time. And then I said, okay, well, let's do it after this week. Let's just do a week. You know how I'm about that small little feat. I don't let you stare at the top of the mountain. I just guide you to little molehills. And then I was like, just give me this 1 week. Just give me 5 days. And let's see those changes that you start to feel. Those 5 days just from cutting this one thing out. I didn't even start her intermittent fasting yet. I just cut that one thing out, which was the soda. And after the 5 days, she had already lost 8 pounds. You heard me right. Already lost 8 pounds and felt so clear minded and full of energy. She's like, okay, let's go. What are we doing? I'm ready to start. What's the intermittent fasting thing? Just from cutting the soda out. She was so impressed. And then I said, well, why don't you reward yourself with a soda on Sunday? Because then she decided to go through the whole 7 days, the whole week. And then she put that soda back in her mouth. She immediately sent me a message and said, that was the most disgusting thing I put in my mouth. She's like, I could taste the syrup and it was so sweet and devastating to my palate that was it. And she still to this day does not drink it. I'm not saying you're going to have to be off of it forever, but I'm just saying give it a go to give your body a little bit of a break. And you're going to get there. You will get there. I'm telling you, you will get to that point. And really all you have to do is trust in your body and trust that it'll be there. What's up, you guys? I see you on TikTok. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Thanks, Miss AK. Um, I really know that you will get there. I've had literal clients come to me for all across the board, and they would leave the sessions feeling inspired, invigorating, and ready to take on the world. And literally, it's just about changing your relationship with your food and changing the relationship with yourself. Stop hating on yourself and doubting yourself and saying you can't. I don't even like that word in my presence, not even with my kids, not with my husband, not with my clients. Can't is not a word, because if you say you can't, you're right. But if you say you can, you're right too. You have to be the power right here. The power has to be in a positive light towards yourself. Give yourself some grace too. If you started it and then you fell off, don't beat yourself up and spiral down that eating path. Get back on the next day. If you just like, okay, well, I pigged out at like Five Guys or I don't know, Cookout. Fine. Is that the only time you pigged out today? Or did you pig out for lunch and breakfast? Oh no, it was just dinner. Totally cool. Guess what? You're already changing your metabolism. You're already changing your gut biodome just from intermittent fasting and doing the intermittent fasting journey each day. You're already changing all of those things. It's going to be able to handle and process that so much faster. Everything's going to respond quicker when you start eating less, meaning like in an 8-hour window. That's the goal, 8-hour window. But giving yourself that challenge, what I told you guys earlier in the podcast, giving yourself this challenge of going that 18, 19 hours, and that's calculating all the sleep time. Remember, the time that you're sleeping and then adding on the rest of your day. So what that boils down to is you're not eating until dinner. From the time you wake up, you're having coffee, tea, water throughout your day. That's what the lemon water really gets you through. People crunch on ice just to try and get themselves there. When you reach that hour, you're going to see what I'm talking about. There's no other way to put it. This is kind of like the jump start challenge that I give people to show them this is what you're going to feel like all the time. You don't have to go 19 hours all the time without eating, but this is the quickest way to get you to understand where your body is, how your body wants to respond to you is going 19 hours from the time you went to sleep the day before. You calculate from that time, all that time you slept, and then on to the next day. When you wake up, no food, no snacks, nothing, just eat, push yourself through until dinner. Wait until you wait. Just wait. No words. Just wait. See for yourself. But that space, what I'm trying to say to you, that space you're going to be in, that's the space your body's going to be in every day once you get on an intermittent schedule. Once you start cutting that crap out, eating in an 8-hour window from the time you put the food in your mouth, the first bite of food in your mouth to the last bite is 8 hours. That's it. 8 hours is a lot when you think about it. 8 hours for the day, you have to eat your food, and then you go on about your business, go to bed. I'm telling you right now, when you feel what your body's going to feel, there's no way you wouldn't want to feel like that every day you woke up. Clarity, like running around, energy, just everything. I can't even process how to tell you it. It feels like you're taking some kind of like, euphoric medicine that keeps you focused and alive and thinking outside the box. And at work, you're just like on firing on all cylinders, like, oh, I got this. I can handle this. Oh, I'm coming up. Guess what this idea I came up with? Look at that. I mean, shooting out. There's been so many people that have come past my desk into my program and saying, I got the promotion. I've been working. I couldn't make it happen before because I was too tired, too lazy. I got the promotion. Or guess what? My husband and I, or my boyfriend and I, are doing great. Like before, I was so moody and like didn't want to do anything. I was embarrassed by the way that I looked. And now look at me. Now look at how I feel. And now we're like engaged, or now we've got the best marriage ever. Like I wasn't able to have kids because I was overweight and all of these things were out of balance. Your estrogen levels and your eggs, or even for a guy, your sperm count is going to be higher. You get a 1300% testosterone boost. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the thing. I'm so excited. 1300% testosterone boost for a guy after that, I think 17th hour. So when you hit that 18th, 19th hour, girls, y'all better watch out. I'm telling you, it is a beautiful gift to you. And literally, it sounds so simplistic, but it is the mind game that you have to wrap up. It's the mind game. You have to be like, nope, not today. How I say it to my clients, not today, Satan. Like when the devil comes knocking at your door saying, oh, you want that yummy snack? You want to eat it up? No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm like, nope, I'm on a whole new path. I'm leveling up, honey. I'm leveling up. And it ain't by eating them snacks right there. Level up. Give them the hand. Give the devil the hand. Say, walk on, homie. Walk on. And they will. I'm gonna move on. that was the tangent that I had to get off my chest. But you can do it. You
Your
want to reach out to
metabolism.
me? Reach out to me. Behind the Layers podcast at gmail.com, or you can hit me up on whatever platform you're watching this on and ask me whatever questions you want. But I gave you the layout for free, guys. I'm telling you right now, the proof is in the pudding. The only way you're going to know is by giving it a go. That's my whole motto right there. You never know till you give it a go. Don't listen to all the words that are coming into your ear out of my mouth. Give it a try. Give it a try yourself. And then you're going to be like, wow, holy crap. What? It's not my first rodeo. I'm trying to tell you. If you give it a go and you're bold enough and brave enough and strong enough to do it, and then see the results. And then it's going to blow your mind. What's up, Robert? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you for the hearts emoji. Super sweet. I'm telling you, do that challenge, 19 hours. And remember, that includes the time that you're sleeping. All the way in. Don't eat until dinner. Watch what happens. And I better be hearing back from you guys on whatever platform you're watching on and been like, wow, I cannot believe that. I never felt that on a natural high like that before ever. Watch what happens with your body. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. All right, let me finish this. Let me see what
Might
it's
be
saying.
very efficient, and it's more difficult. And this is part of the phytomedicine data. So there's
This is
4
the Manjaro
herbs
6.
that can create this effect. Number 1, berberine. Number 2, curcumin.
Okay,
Number 3,
these are the things.
cinnamon. Number
Hold up.
4, panax ginseng. Now, I'm not recommending.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there so you can see it. You see that? These are the things you should write down if you want to try something all natural that will help you getting either weaning yourself if you've been on those weight loss shots, trying to reboost those things that it broke down, which is your gut, your thyroid, and your gallbladder. These are the things that you can start introducing back into your body to help rebuild those things back up, to get you out of the zone of possibly needing to have a surgery on your thyroid or your gallbladder. You don't want that, right? We're trying not to do that. But if you're having any of these side effects from any of these drugs, and these are the things, make sure you're not taking any particular medications that run it by your doctor. Say, hey, is berberine, curcumin, cinnamon, and ginseng, are any of those things going to affect any of the medications I'm on? Because you just don't want to take them if you're going to cancel out, or if they're going to hyper or boost the medications you're on or anything like that. But write them down, because this is a big, I can't even imagine that any of these things, unless you're on blood thinners, maybe something like that. But these are the ways to get your thyroid acting better, and your gut acting better, and your gallbladder doing its job properly. So let's continue on. I just wanted to freeze frame it there. There's one more. Let me see
In
if I can
taking
catch
all
it.
of these, I would just pick one and try it out. In addition to two other things I would highly recommend, especially if you want to lower your appetite and be able to do something that fits within your lifestyle. And that is this: the healthy version of the ketogenic diet, which is a low carb diet, with intermittent fasting. That ultimately is
Boom.
a wonderful way to correct problems with your blood sugar and help you lose weight and keep it off. Now, if
Keep
you
it
want to
off.
know how to do healthy keto with intermittent fasting in a very
And keep it off. That's the thing, keeping it off. So what I was saying about to you guys about the cocktail, the apple cider vinegar cocktail. If you're going to get apple cider vinegar, it's in a glass bottle. I think it's made by Bragg's. It's in a glass bottle. It is actually, let me just pull it up so you guys can see what it looks like. You have to get it that says with the mother. So the with the mother is the one that has the soot at the bottom, and that is your magic juice. That soot is the magic in it all. And this is, here it is. Yeah, it's called Bragg. Bragg. This is what you want to put into that apple cider vinegar cocktail. Some people do like a bubbly water. They'll do it with bubbly water, like why am I drawing a blank? Fizzy water, and they'll put the half a tablespoon or even up to a tablespoon. If you're just starting out and it's like too much, you could put a little monk fruit or stevia in there, and then put a little lemon. We'll cut the tart, and just start with like a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Anything's better than nothing. But what happens when you take the apple cider vinegar, right? So, it curbs your appetite because it goes into your gut. It's all about your gut, right? Because this thing that Manjaro, Wegovy, all of that, people are taking $2,000, down the drain for the week just to take these shots. But here's what I'm talking about naturally: intermittent fasting, eating keto, keeping the sugars down low. This this apple cider vinegar with the mother is something that you can take to curb your appetite. What happens is it curbs your appetite. It goes in and resets your biodome, your pH balance in your body. So let's just say your insulin's real high. It'll go and pull that insulin down, which helps with your blood sugars, which helps with the whole system that's happening inside once you get that insulin in check. It's all about your insulin getting in check. That's why this is a diabetic medication that people are on. So you can do that on your own with the ingredients that I posted up yesterday and that we talked about yesterday, with making your own homemade with the 4 natural ingredient Manjaro, your own homemade natural fat blaster and appetite curb, and all the things that, oh my gosh, the health benefits, you guys, that we talked about yesterday. I mean, insane. You have to go back and check at Kara Chris TV. It's going to be on that episode, and I put all the links and all the information in the description of yesterday's episode. But the apple cider vinegar, let's just say you're having a craving, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I really want this. Get your little cocktail. I just have it already pre-made in a big jug in my refrigerator. When I'm starting to have one of those cravings, I just take it in, because your levels start to get out of whack sometimes, and they just need to be rebalanced, especially if you've been eating these things like the boxed foods or the, like sugary treats, Debbie treats, cookies, whatever, time for the holidays. This was like a big thing. So if you're trying to get it back in check, get your apple cider vinegar. It's going to go in there, rebalance, especially if you had also a big pasta meal, because too many carbs can also convert into sugar, and the sugar is going to be stored as fat. But if you drink your apple cider vinegar beforehand, you won't have as much, because you aren't as hungry to have as much, and you're going to bring those your insulin levels back in check. It won't skyrocket and create havoc in there. The apple cider vinegar is a huge help in the process. I know, because there are so many people that have been like, I'm a late night snacker. I'm like, they'll be messaging me, my clients at night. Like, I really want a snack. Like, kind of like, like if someone who's trying to get off of alcohol or drugs and you have your counselor that can kind of check in with, them being like, I'm about to break. I'm like, no, you're not. Go have your apple cider vinegar cocktail. Like, make it as zhuzhy as you want. Or people drink like their flavored waters or flavored water, like the bubbly drinks. Hugs back to you, Bo. Thank you. Just make sure that it's all pure in the back. It's just carbonated. Thank you, carbonated water. Lord Jesus alive. Thank you for letting my brain work. I need to get on that 19-hour tip. But make it as zhuzhy as you want. But here's the thing. The more acidic you keep it, as in like strict without more flavors, right? The less you're going to crave more flavors. That's just how your body works. It's just how it is. If you keep it simple, like a carbonated water or just a flat water with your lemon juice and your apple cider vinegar, if you can drink it down like that, sipping on it with the bubbly water is how I like, or I just like it straight up. Like, I like it neat. Okay. Sip on that. It will curb your appetite, your hunger, your craving. All of that stuff will subside. I'm telling you, just give it a go. You never know till you give it a go. But if you introduce more flavors, like people are like, oh, well, can I put honey in my tea? No, just drink the tea. You could put a little bit of stevia or a little bit of monk fruit, but don't go honey. Unless it's going to keep you from having like a bag of Doritos. But the more simplistic you can make your palate, the less you're gonna crave, and the more vibrant your foods when you do eat them will taste again. Your tongue gets a little numb to all the flavors all the time. You're just gonna start learning to appreciate and savor the flavors more because you aren't constantly having them. And sometimes it's a little much. Like, sometimes you might be like, you know what, I'm gonna have a little treat. I'm gonna have like a cupcake or a tart. And you might feel like, whoa, that is so sweet. I can't even handle it. Like, I can't do it. That's the spot where you're gonna get to. Doesn't that sound great? I always feel like before I learned about intermittent fasting, before I went to school and got my license and all the stuff that I've done in nutrition and wellness and fitness, before I went to all of that, I felt like there's no, like, I need to go to a hypnotist. There's no way I can like get myself off of sugar. Like, I need to be hypnotized for that to even be able to happen. But no, you know what happened? I tried it. I gave it a go, and I learned what your body is capable of and how good you feel. Your libido's back, your energy's back, your clarity's there. You're just thinking outside the box. Everything's connecting quicker. You are just live and vibrant. And that's the space I want to see everybody in. That's the space I'm trying to guide you to. Leading a horse to water, but only you can drink it. Okay? Okay, so let's move on. Oh, let me show you this. Okay, this is what the apples, and it's like $8 for the big bottle, which will last you like several months. Let me see. Share screen. Going here. Apple cider vinegar. Share that. Bada boom. Okay. There you go. That's it. Wait. Never mind. Hold on. There. That's it. So this is the big bottle, and it's $8. So in my store, I get it when it's on sale, and it's like $6. But that's your saving grace right there. See that? And see how it says in that little red label right there? That label says with the mother. Don't just get any old apple cider vinegar. If it doesn't have that label on it, don't get it. It's not the right one. Okay? Just giving you a little pro tip there. Don't get that one. That's not the right one. All right, moving on. What's up, Dennis? What's up, Katie? Hey, Danny and Natty. Danny tries it. Danny, you should try this then. You should try this. This is the challenge, the 19 hours with no food challenge. To following your path to euphoria. That includes, like I said before, y'all have heard it like a broken record at this point. That includes your sleep time. So, sleeping time all the way until you wake up, you're just having tea or water or your apple cider vinegar cocktail, and you're just going to go along about your business all the way through until you reach that 18 hours. And most of the time, you won't even have to be looking at your watch or clock or whatever When that 18 hours hits, you're going to know because you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your brain. You're going to feel it in your body. You're going to feel the surge of energy all of a sudden and clarity and focus and euphoria. And you're going to be like, whoa, what's happening? From not even putting any food in your body. You think it's wild because you're like taught you must have this food, that food, this food, that food. It's all I got to do is say, try it. And that's the space your body will be at all the time with intermittent fasting. Just is. You keep your window at an 8-hour window and you're going to be in that space. This apple cider vinegar right here, that's going to be your savior to keep you from having your cravings. If you're a late night snacker in the beginning, you really have to focus on just making it through. If you get your 8 hours in, you already had your dinner, and you know you're a late night snacker, and you've had your apple cider vinegar already, which is always going to be beneficial for you because it's got so many amazing beneficial properties. Look up benefits of apple cider vinegar. I've covered this so many times on the podcast, but just look it up yourself. But being from a girl who was a foodie, who was over 200 pounds, who's lived that life, been about that life, and now I'm about this life after 3 kids and, having my space where I'm like, I need to tell everybody that about this method, not just my clients and my patients that I see every day, people that aren't even near me that I can reach and say, look, you guys, you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. No one's more addicted to the sweets and the junk than me. And it's a daily choice. But at this point, I put it in my mouth and it's too much. I can taste all the bad. That's what I'm saying. The more you go without it and then you reintroduce it back into your palate, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You're gonna taste it and be like, whoa, I feel like I used to love Doritos. Oh my gosh, I used to love them. Now all I taste is like the plastic and the processing of like the dye that's in. Oh, I could taste the metal and all. It's so bad. You don't even understand how much I love those. You would think that I got hypnotized in some realm. Like, now, don't get it wrong, I do love a Snickers every now and again, but even still, like, I could probably down 2, 3 Snickers before, and now I'm, like, not even through a full Snickers and like, ugh, I can't. It's so much sugar. I'm already feeling, like, gross. You wanna be in that space, the space where you're like, "I can't even." I don't like that word "can't," but in the sense, the only time I'll take it is if it's talking about what you can't do and it's bad for you, right? I can't do a cupcake or I can't do this nasty stuff that's not good for me. Those are the only times that I feel like a can't is in a worthy prospect right there, right? Okay, so this lady, I freaking love her. Right? We talked about Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro yesterday, and we discussed how you can make your own natural. You have to go back and look at 35, episode 35, but how you can make your own natural one that's going to produce so many benefits. Like, you don't even understand how many. Hold on. Let me see if I could pull it up from yesterday. Just the notes that I took on it, because, like, for real, you guys. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, oolong tea, fucoxanthin, tridosine, apple cider vinegar. I mean, the list is so big, I can't even. So we got, what does that say? Okay, so boosting your metabolism, reducing the risk of obesity and aiding in weight loss, stimulating fat burning. This fucoxanthin is literally, its only job is to find fat and eat it, like, to kill it off. That is a natural herb too. That is natural. Oolong tea, like the Japanese. So, I'm sorry, the Chinese. Sorry about that. No offense, you guys. The Chinese teas, the oolong tea. So it's high in amino acids, and amino acids is the thing that your body needs, like that's in protein that helps you build muscle. So the more that you drink, you're getting the L-theanine in it. That's also helping your muscles build. Studies show it's got cognitive effects like improved brain activity. You get better sleep quality. You get reduced stress and anxiety. That was another thing I wanted to touch on, you guys. If you are a depressant, you take antidepressants, manic depressant, any of those depressant realms. When you start doing intermittent fasting and cutting out all the trash from your diet, when you start doing that intermittent fasting journey, and you guys, you can find amazing recipes. People are posting all the time on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. They're constantly TikTok. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. All those people that are posting up like how to make tacos with, like I put it on my page the other day, cabbage tacos, like with just big chunks of cabbage that are in olive oil. Like so many recipes. It's not like back in the day where you feel like, oh, I got to eat healthy. It's like cardboard and it tastes terrible. No, there's so many options that you guys can dive into just from looking up quick, healthy, easy, keto friendly recipes or just quick, healthy, easy recipes. It doesn't even have to be keto, especially if you are lactose intolerant. They make so many cheeses now that are not, that don't have dairy in them, like, like the fake cheese, but I've tried it because I don't recommend anything to any of my clients without trying it first myself, but I do have some clients that are lactose intolerant. So I dove down all types of foods for that, which I have posted up before. But they got so many options these days. There's literally no excuse. And since you're going to be eating less anyway, you don't think of it like, oh, well, those are expensive. When you think about the amount of money you spent on all that trash food you've been eating is going to be more than if you pick and choose quality food and you're only eating a couple times a day anyway. So you're substituting all the trash for some quality items. So you have the money to put into that. You already been wasting all your money on all that other stuff. So what also could help you to get your mind off of like binge eating or foodie is grow a garden. No, there's like that takes a lot of time and patience and effort. You got to do something, get in a hobby, something that keeps your mind active. But if you are one of those people that take those antidepressants, you're going to see, hey, I feel so leveled. Like maybe I'm going to talk to my doctor and tell them I've been doing intermittent fasting and I've been changing up my diet. Maybe you start walking too. Maybe, hey, I started walking a couple days a week too. Can we readjust? Because a lot of people I know that have been clients of mine that have come to me and saying, you know what, I think I'm going to wean myself off of those because I want to have all my feelings again. I want to have my emotions and I don't want to walk around feeling like lethargic or like a zombie. And they've ended up doing that on their own because they felt like, oh, I'm in the best space. I'm feeling good, but this is something that I'm feeling is making me not feel the full benefits. And they've gotten all the way, if not the lowest possible dose, but all the way off in some cases. I'm just saying, talk to your doctor, let them know that you're on this new path in life and you're trying to level up your game and you really would like to get to a point where you could be off these things or at least start weaning yourself down and having that life that you can enjoy all the time. And that starts with that 19-hour challenge because that's the time when you're going to feel your body producing all of the positive feels and the vibes and the energy and all of the things when 19 hours without that food. That's how your body is going to feel all the time, though. You don't have to go the 19 hours. That's just going on a regular intermittent fasting after that. But that's just the point of like getting there to feel it, to wake you up, to be like, wow, that feels good. I want to feel like that every day. And then you start your journey the next day and say, okay, today I'm only going to eat in that 8-hour window and I'm going to start taking out just for that just for that first week. You want to take out something that is real, is real bad for you, like soda or sweet tea, or what's the other one? The sweet tea mixed with the lemonade, that stuff. Take that out just for the week. See the difference. You're going to see it because you're going to lose weight, and you're going to feel it because now your body can function differently without you throwing all that tar in there. Just try it yourself. Never know till you give it a go. That's my expert opinion that I would give my clients who pay me big money. I'm sure they're very frustrated that I started this podcast and I'm giving out my all my inside tips, professional tips to everybody that hasn't even like paid a penny for it. But, my calling is to help people living their best life and I do feel that from my heart and soul. I know God has given me all of these talents and I've like literally exercised every single talent I can on self-care from being an esthetician, a licensed massage therapist, licensed in nutrition, licensed in fitness, a licensed in health coach, like literally all across the board. I went to school for child psychology, the psychological of it, all of the things, everything already mixed, makeup, hair, all of the things. all the things to help you living your best life. So that's what this channel is always going to offer you, all across the spectrum, all across the board. I'm going to be here to talk to you about it, whether you want to hear it. And you'll hear me say some things over and over and over again, but sometimes you have to hear something 7 times. Like now, I used to be so bad with names, and I'm great with a face. I will remember a face, even if it was like a face of a child, and then I didn't see them until later on in life. I know that face. But the names, I always struggled. So then I learned when I was in school, say it to yourself 7 times. Learning about it 7 times commits it to memory. So you might hear me repeat things over and over and over again, but I'm really trying to ingrain it into you that you can do it. You can do it. You have to give yourself the grace to do it. And that means if you mess up, that's okay. You jump back on, and I'm here for you. Like literally, I'm telling you, you can do it. And that's the biggest thing you need, is support and a cheerleader on your side. And I know once you start making those changes, people around you are going to be like, whoa, what are you doing? Are you taking the shot? Are you on the Ozempic? Are you on? No, you're going to be like, actually, no, I'm just doing this from intermittent fasting, and I'm feeling great. And now I'm going to go on this walk. So bye. Like that's going to be your life. That's going to be you, boo. It's not going to feel so good. That's going to feel so good. You're going to be like, I did that. Me right here. Because you're going to feel like empowered. Like, what? Say, what? I did that. Nobody told me to. Nobody made me, nobody made me, held me down, and I did this. I took control over my thoughts, and my thoughts that keep telling me, really, I call it the devil. Tell the devil, not today, honey, not today. I'm not gonna be eating that. I'm not going back down that road. I'm not gonna be down. I'm not gonna be that person anymore, because I'm about that level up life. And that's where you want to be, right? We get this one life. Why waste it on something that is keeping? And you know what? Some people are so stuck because they've been there for so long, and they can't even, like, what you feel naturally without any drugs, just from shrinking that window, what you start to feel naturally and how your body responds is so infectious and so contagious that you're just like, oh my gosh, you want to shout it from the rooftops, because you can't believe that you've been stuck for so long in that rut where you just got used to always feeling like this. Like, you don't feel like playing with your kids, or you're too tired to do that, or you're too embarrassed to go on that boat trip, or up to the beach with this, like, all the things that the way you look and your weight can make you feel like. Not even just that, but you're mental, you're moody, you're irritable, your balance is out of whack because the chemicals inside are out of whack. Your mood will start mood, your weight's coming off, your ailments are getting in check. So many things just from not putting that disgusting food in your mouth. You might think that it is yummy food, but you have to change that relationship. You have to be like, that is not good for me. No, I do not want it. Walk away. Just walk away. Be like, nope, not today. You got to take it on. Not today, devil. Not today. Take that saying on. I'm giving you that. Bopping you with the power for it. You can do it. I know you can. You can do it. All right, let's go on. I just want to get through this with Dr. Mindy. She's so great. If you guys, especially women that are watching this right here, please go follow this woman, Dr. Mindy. She is she's board certified doctor, and she is all about that perimenopause and menopause life. I don't know about you ladies. I never even heard about perimenopause. Like, what? I know about menopause. I know you get menopause like later on in life, maybe like 50s, 60s. No, there's a thing called perimenopause, and perimenopause starts in your 40s. And that is a game changer when you learn about that. And Dr. Mindy, if you just put Dr. Mindy menopause, or I'm sorry, perimenopause, which is PERI menopause, put that in, Dr. Mindy perimenopause, a freaking sea of videos are going to come up and blow your mind. You're like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm feeling like that. Literally, she talks about the breakdown of what you're feeling in menopause, how all of a sudden you could be like, oh, I've lost my drive for everything. Lost your drive for sex, lost your drive for working out, lost your drive to be motivated to do anything. That's a part of your estrogen just dropping, boom, plummeting. Same thing for guys. All of a sudden you hit a certain age, and then your testosterone, you've lost your libido. You're not feeling the same inside. You don't have that oomph. Your testosterone has plummeted, and you don't even know that's what happened. Like so many things that we don't know about and how we can take control. She's all about that intermittent fasting life, and she's all about that 19th hour without food. What happens in your body is so addicting. It's so euphoric. It's literally like you took some kind of like hyper, like fueled fantasy drug that makes you feel so good and focused, and like especially for those, I mean, I'm talking about like Einstein and some of the greats who invented the light bulb. Like all these people have written it in their journals back in the day, and there's posts about it saying time without food can connect you to your spirit and to your mind and get you to connect all the pieces that you've been stuck on, those types of things. And it's so true. There could be something that you're stuck on right now that you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm missing this piece of this thing in my job and my work and my life and my marriage, my whatever. You connect all the dots when you have not put any food in your mouth for 19 hours, and what your body does for you is insane. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to mention it. I know I keep talking about it over and over, but did I say it 7 times? Because that's how many times you need to hear it. So, also, you guys want to get on that fast track tip? Okay, let me just tell you about this right here. Bam. And I put the link in it to my YouTube, on my YouTube channel in my bio. I put the link to all the things that I use. Very inexpensive, quick, fast track to things that are tried and true that I've offered all my clients. Everything is on there on my bio page. But this right here, this book is about manifesting the greatness, the greatest thing that you ever could have imagined your life being, the biggest dreams that you could ever have had for your life, right? Being about that life, having that bank account, having that car, having that house, having that relationship, that marriage, those children, that family, that the relationship with your family, having friends, any kind of thing that you want to imagine to happen. This book is your day by day guide. But I put a link on my page. If you can't afford to get this book, it's like $15 on Amazon. But if you can't afford to get this book, I put a link to where it's online, or you can type it in yourself. It's called The Magic. Just put The Magic Book, and there's a blog that somebody had done like back in 2012. It's the same book. And oh, 444 here on the East Coast. Hey, sending out, when you see 444, that's your master angels, and you got to give them a job to do. And I'm giving them a job to reach your soul and reach your mind to tell you you can do it and get you in a better life right now. But The Magic is a book that gives you a step-by-step guide. Literally, it's all you're doing is a devotional, like every morning and every night, like 5 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the night. You're not doing anything physical activity or anything. You're just literally writing something down or thinking about something. 5 minutes in the evening, 5 minutes in the day will change your life. We started it on the first, but you guys can start it whenever you want. It's a 28-day process. So from 28 days from the time you start your first day, and you always read the next day, the night before, so you can be prepared of how to navigate your day. But it's just like a bunch of little daily tasks to think about or to do throughout your day that will help you to get to literally anything. And there have been so many people that have talked about this book in my own wheelhouse. My sister-in-law gave it to me. She's the one who talked about how she manifested her thing. Her friend did it. She sent it to my other sister-in-law, her sister. And now my husband and I are doing this. And it is a game changer, you guys. Remember, you can type it in right now in your search engine, The Magic Book, and there is The Magic Book Day 1 or The Magic Book Day by Day. You have to put it something like that, and it'll give you all the days. And just start that if you really want to level your game up, and then you're going to start doing this with your intermittent fasting. And woo, talk about honey, okay? 2025 is about to be your year. It's going to be your year. You ready for that? Is anybody ready for that? Is anybody like, I'm so done with the old time, like last year and all the years before that, and I'm ready to be back on my game. I'm ready to level up. I'm ready to be on top. I'm ready to be that person that everybody's like, oh my gosh, can you believe so-and-so is doing this, got this? Look at her, him now, right? Come on, who doesn't want that? And these are all things that I'm trying to share with you that you can start right now. Like literally, you don't have to go to you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go buy anything. Well, unless you're going to buy this book, but you don't even need to buy the book. You don't need to do any extra thing other than your time commitment to yourself. And if you really are honest with yourself, you can be like, hey, self, I'm sorry. Like starting with the apology of right here. You know how to do that in like AA and like with people who are trying to get off drugs. they do this like whole apology part of their program where they go around and have to apologize to all the people that they offended or hurt or whatever, abused or misused or whatever. Start with yourself with this food addiction journey and you're trying to get off of it. Start with yourself and be like, self, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry that I took it this far. I'm sorry I haven't been good to you. And then I've been putting all this extra stress and all these extra chemicals inside of you. And I'm going to start doing better. I'm going to do better and it's going to start with you. Try it. Try it out. Look in yourself and have that meeting with yourself and know that that's the last time you're going to look like that and be like that. And then the next day, same thing. It's the last time you're going to look like that. Bye, old self. And the next day, same thing until you're seeing what's happening every day. Every day passes. You're getting better. You're getting stronger. You're getting more clear. You're feeling good. You're getting your confidence back. You're getting your swag back. You're starting to feel it. Like that's who don't want to be there, right? That's it. That's that 2025 life. That's that hashtag 2025 level up life. That's where you're going, right? And you want to feel what that's going to feel like every day. You do that 19-hour challenge, like I said. Okay? Okay. And moving on. All right. This is the last one. Dr. Mindy. She's great. You want to learn about perimenopause and all the things that go around, like all of a sudden, girls, you just started getting a big old belly and you're like, whoa, what's happening? Or maybe you had one and it got even bigger. Perimenopause. Girl, and this is how you can snatch that back up, get it in check. Never mind, the intermittent fasting is where it's at all across the board. Intermittent fasting also helps you get, if you're in menopause, get all those symptoms in check. You're having night sweats, you're having hot flashes during the day, you're having irritable syndrome where your mind's all over the place. You get restless leg syndrome while you're sleeping, pins and needles, feeling uncomfortable. Intermittent fasting, boom, all that right in check. Okay? We're just talking about food here. Come on. It's crazy. It will blow your mind. It will literally blow your mind. Dr. Berg and Dr. Mindy are the two people that I go to. I even have doctor meetings on panels talking to other doctors about information I can share here that can be tried and true, that is going to help with my patients, my clients, and the people that I share on my podcast. I'm telling you right now. And some of these doctors are in the corporate level doctor and they know these other things, but they're not, they don't, it's not always received well, I guess is what you're saying, is what I'm saying. It's not always received well in their atmosphere. They're supposed to be pushing the drugs, right? And keeping these patients on drugs and not the holistic way that some of these doctors have left to be more holistic and be, not saying that they're never going to write a prescription again. No, but they're going to say, hey, let's give this a go first. And then we're going to, if you need to absolutely be on this other thing, then we will. But the first option is not a drug. It's not the Band-Aid. All right, let's do it. Let's dive into Dr. Mindy. I'm going to share this screen. And then we're going to cut it off and then I'll be back on Friday. Let's see, where is she? Is it this one? Nope. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Coming back over here. Let's do this. What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Kent Steven. Hey, Raheem. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Hector. Hey, Victor. Hey, Alex. Or Lex, I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me over there on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate you guys. Just on here doing, helping you live your best life from the inside out. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about it. And if I know one particular person that has been stuck on that Coca-Cola and can't even think about tasting it, again, telling you, that is a tried and true message right there. And you too can do it too. You too can also have that life where you feel like you've been hypnotized and don't want that crap that's killing you literally from the inside. You want to have all those things, that more energy, that clarity, that libido, that all that. No ailments, no aches, no pains. You want to sleep through the night? Get on it. Y'all can do it. I promise. I promise you. You want to hit me up? I'll help you. And that is at Behind the Layers podcast at gmail.com, or write me on any of the whatever platform you're watching me on from right now. So, Dr. Mindy, this girl is my girl. She my girl. So I know she's talking about this Ozempic tip. I'm going
Okay.
to fast forward some of it, but here we go. Sorry, I don't know why I stopped it. Whoops. Oh, by the way, anybody who wants to see these videos, we didn't watch them in full, or you want to go back and listen to what they said, or maybe you didn't get a chance to see them at all, you joined late, or you didn't write the things down, or you were in the car, you're at work, you didn't have a chance to write it down, or you're just listening to this on audio, go to my channel on YouTube at Kara Chris TV. Everything is under my playlists. It says podcast info vids under my playlist. That is the spot where you're going to be able to see everything that I talk about here, everything I post up. You can go back, rewatch it, and then also all of my previous episodes. And if you missed it yesterday when I gave you the concoction of that natural manjaro that you could do at home from 4 ingredients that are gonna blow your mind and freaking up, like rock your world from your inside out, that's where you need to go. That's what you need to see. Episode 35. That was yesterday. Okay, so going back here, coming over here, let's go. Dr. Mindy, give it to me.
I know this is going to be controversial. I get it, but I got to say it. We have to talk about the myths of Ozempic. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not trying to dishonor anybody who has lost weight with Ozempic. If you haven't seen my interview, my most recent interview on Diary of the CEO, I will leave the link here. Stephen and I talk about this, that there are people who are losing large amounts of weight with Ozempic, and that's amazing. But we got a bigger problem here, because those people are struggling to get off Ozempic, and the name of the health game isn't to be on a medication for you the rest of your life.
Right.
The name of the health game is to master your lifestyle. So if you do get on a medication, you get on for a short period of time and then you get off. Same thing with supplements. So here's what I want you to know is that there are 3 myths about Ozempic that we're not talking about. And we're going to talk about them here on this video.
Let's go.
And I want to just unpack what Ozempic is doing,
like
and could you achieve the same thing with your lifestyle?
Let's go. Y'all ready? Take notes. We're about to give you the gospel right here. Love her.
There are a lot of people educating on health out there, and there's a lot of big fancy words to be used. I prefer to use words that everybody could understand.
Yes.
So we can be like GLP-1, semaglutide, sure, whatever. But I'm just going to say
the things that
one of the things we know about Ozempic is it kills, and all the weight loss drugs, is that they kill hunger. Mm-hmm. And that's why people are losing weight. And that's the benefit of the GLP-1 and the semaglutide conversation. So really at the root of knowing these medications is they kill hunger. Okay, well, is that good? I mean, think about that for a moment. Is that good? Like, what happens when you kill hunger? Okay, well, then now you're not bringing in food, but that also means you're not bringing in nutrients, and you're not bringing in protein to build muscle, and you're not bringing in fiber to break down hormones. The experience that I've had with people on Ozempic is that it kills hunger so much that now it's at the expense of not bringing in things your body needs. Okay, well, what else kills hunger? Well, put it in the notes, put it in the comments if it's you. A fasting lifestyle can kill hunger. This metabolic switch, when you learn how to be a really good sugar burner, which I teach you in Eat Like a Girl, and how to be
Eat Like a Girl is like her guide to what I'm talking about here for free. But if you are a book reader, you should get that book. And you don't have to be a girl to do it, but it does talk a lot about perimenopause and menopause, because those are big things that we go through as females. And a lot of times I didn't even learn that until my 40s about perimenopause. Like, how sad is that? And I have met several other women the same. They've never even heard of that word. We're not educated enough. However, we're going through the symptoms and going through the things, and we're just confused. We don't know what's going on. All of a sudden you're losing, your drive and all the like focus and all this stuff, just like randomly all of a sudden. I mean, it's a thing. We don't know about it. And now I love doctors like her who are stepping out and saying, I can't just sit by and let the other head doctors in charge trying to tell people that, oh, you need an antidepressant, or now you need this, like putting you on medication, when really it's something that is totally opposite, that you need maybe hormone replacement therapy, or you need to eat certain foods to help bring these things up in your body naturally. or fasting more, or whatever the case is. She deep dives in it. It's a whole topic on its own. But I love that it's actually being spoken about now and being talked about on a broad scale, because a lot of doctors are starting to talk about it. And it is so beautiful. It's such a great thing to follow step by step on, especially if you are someone who likes to have like a book or somebody like me in your wheelhouse. That's what I do with my clients, is I hold them accountable. I keep them on track. I make them feel like excitable when they're there with me and I'm training them, or we're talking about food and what they're doing. I make them feel excitable, and I also make them feel like it's okay. Give yourself a grace if you mess up. It's okay. It's just a mess up. Everybody makes them. We're only human. Giving yourself and allowing yourself to forgive yourself and move on, rather than what happens? Stress. And then what happens from stress? Cortisol. And what happens with cortisol? Spike in your insulin, and then you're storing more fat. Stay as stress-free as you can. Learning breathing techniques, going on a walk when you feel that coming about. When you're going through perimenopause, you can literally just all of a sudden start feeling irritable, which will cause you stress. If you start feeling that all of a sudden, all you got to do is take a walk. Start taking a walk. Just start taking a walk, or breathing. Breathing exercises. What I do is I get down on the ground and I hold a plank while I'm breathing, or I'll start doing like sit-up punches. So I sit up and I do punches in the air, like I'm training for like, a big fight. I just put that in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, you're going in the ring. You're going to knock around. Whatever mental games you got to play with yourself to get you to do what you need to do, do it. Whatever la la land you got to go to in your mind to clear your mind, clear that stress, get it out and get you focused, because you do not want what comes from cortisol happening in your body, especially on a daily basis. So the more stress you can stay out of, the lower you're going to lower your insulin and your weight. It really does come down to those simple things, like truly. But she does have a book, and I do have it on my list to read. I got my Kindle list of books. But right now, you guys, all about that magic life. If you really want to level up, right here, get this book. If you really want, freaking microphone. If you want to level up, get the book, The Magic. It's a 28-day program, and it is beautiful. It's $15, or if you're downloading on Kindle, it's like $1. Talk about changing your mindset, you want to level up your marriage, your relationships, your friendships, your work status, everything in your life. Literally, you started a business, you want to start a business, you've been dreaming about having a business, whatever the case, you will level your game up to something you never even thought of. You could not have even imagined that this is where your life would be if you didn't do this book. That's the kind of beauty is in that book. It's called The Magic. And I have it underneath my YouTube page at Kara Chris TV. Underneath my bio has all my links to all the stuff I love and I use. Okay, sorry. Moving on.
A really good fat burner, which I teach you in Fast Like a Girl. When you learn how to get this metabolic switch,
stuff we've been talking about.
Not only do you drop weight like you do in Ozempic, not only do you kill hunger, but you don't kill hunger so much that you don't feel like eating. Now, I do know from everybody who's been on Ozempic that I've talked to is that there's, it kills it in the beginning when you first do the shot, and then as the week goes on, it improves. But we need hunger. We need a little bit of hunger. We just don't need an extreme amount of hunger.
You don't need the craving.
Fasting lifestyle still kills hunger, but it doesn't do it at the cost of you not wanting to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are the myths. I want to unpack 3 of them. So the first one's really important to me, and it should be important to you.
Okay, so what she's saying real quick before we get to that point, because we are talking about getting the cravings. You want to feel hungry, but you don't want the cravings. But what she's saying is people that are on Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro is it kills the ability to want to eat, and that even means the good stuff. Now you're not eating anything, and then your body starts feeding off the muscle, and now you're just kind of like, you ever see people that are on those shots that haven't done any kind of like weight training or strength training? If you're doing strength training while you're this, then you're already ahead of the game. If you're doing strength training while you're on it, then you're already refeeding those muscles. Now you're going to start seeing those big changes in your BMI or fat, and then the muscle ratio. So if you're doing that, then kudos to you. You're already doing the best. When you're on those shots, though, a lot of times people aren't doing those, and a lot of people that I know that have done it and not been working out too. So now they've lost their muscle. They almost look like a deflated version of themselves, because it really is. I know you've seen celebrities like that too. It really is just like your skin hanging off of deflated muscles and bone. Like that's what kind of boils down to. You've lost weight so quickly that a lot of times you get the curtain, with what they call it, is when the skin has not had time to catch up, and the elasticity hasn't had time to evolve quick enough to be able to tighten back up. So you're left with just like this hanging skin. A lot of people that have had like gastric bypass surgery, or the stomach stapling, or the band put around their stomach, and they lost weight rapidly, and their body didn't have enough time to up the ante on their skin, the elasticity, because it's like a rubber band. If it's been stretched out for so long, it's going to stay there. But it will catch up the more healthy you're eating and all of that. But Ozempic can make you not even want to eat the good stuff. So now everybody doesn't have the protein. It doesn't have so that's what she's saying. She's saying that you want to have some hunger. You just don't. You want to get the cravings in check. And the cravings are all about your insulin. And your insulin is all about the food you put in it, processed food and sugar. So all comes down to the processed food and the sugar and the amount of time that you're eating. But the processed food and the sugar is the biggest part. Okay, sorry. Here we go.
Let's put these two together. We've got a fasting lifestyle and we have a weight loss drug. I'm over here teaching you a fasting lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You learn how to get a metabolic switch and you start dropping weight. And you know what happens to you? You're like, man, I'm a badass. Like, look at what I did. I see it in your reviews. I see it in your comments.
What I said earlier, right?
60, 70, 80-year-olds are like, finally lost weight. I didn't know I could do that. And so what happens with a fasting lifestyle is you have so much self-pride. That matters to your health. Feeling good about yourself, feeling worthy, feeling self-pride, it matters. Let's put that next to a weight loss drug. You inject in a weight loss drug. Now you might feel good. You're like, I feel better because I look in the mirror and I like who I have. But there are so many people right now that when they hear, when somebody says, you look really good. And you dropped weight. And they're like, yeah, I'm doing Ozempic. There's kind of an energy back to you of like, oh, well, you cheated. And I'm not saying Ozempic is cheating, but the pride in yourself for doing something hard that caused your body to lose weight goes away when you're making and injecting something into yourself. I want you feeling empowered about your body. This is what we talked about on the Diary of the CEO. Is we talked about the importance of this idea around health. Feeling good about yourself and the skin you live in is massively important when it comes to health.
So, and I think it's the coolest thing too, that you don't even, I think that it's so cool that you have the option to feel like that and look like that. And even better than that, because now you're doing things that are good for you, that are actually making your body stronger and better inside, and feeling like, hey, you could have tested on your internal age, and it could have been like 60, 70 years old as a 30, 40-year-old. That's legit. That's happened so many times. But now you're feeling good and you're working out and you're doing the right things with your intermittent fasting and feeding your body the proper foods, whole foods. Now you go get tested and you're like a 17, 18-year-old. It's crazy. Same thing for women who are having trouble having kids. Now you get on a health track and you're doing intermittent fasting, you're eating whole foods, and now your eggs are more vibrant. Sorry, I pulled the plug out of my microphone. And you're 40 trying to have a kid. Like, it's amazing what your body can do naturally. And what she's saying is so true. Like, people, whether or not you are aware of it or not, but people that hear that somebody has lost the weight on those shots, they feel a certain type of way. And it isn't the same as knowing that you put that hard work and effort into retraining your brain, having a new relationship with food, having a new relationship with yourself, and all the work that you put into evolving as a person, to yourself and to those around you. That's why I really feel like this book, The Magic, is so coincides with this new journey, this 2025 level up. Those two things together, starting that intermittent journey, doing a little bit of just a little tiny bit of a workout. It doesn't even have to be anything big, 10 minutes, like every like maybe 3 times a week, and go from there. That's something. But starting these power combined, oh my gosh, your world is going to be totally different. There's no chance that this isn't going to be your year when you're doing all of these positive things. And it's so true. When you feel that empowerment and you start to get your step back that you didn't have and you haven't had in a long time. And some of you maybe never ever had. Maybe you never had that feeling. It is a feeling that you cannot describe. It's only understood when you're feeling it. That's why I was saying about that 19-hour. Here is the 7th time I'm saying this yet. The 19-hour without food. That 19 hours, what happens with your body, that is how your body will be. That mental thing that happens, that euphoria, that energy, that clarity, that everything snaps together, everything's focused, and you're like, whoa, I want to feel this all the time. That's how you feel. That's how you wake up when you feel on your journey every day that you're doing intermittent fasting, every day that you're giving your body that break and the ability to work on the things it needs to work on other than processing the food you want to keep shoving down the pipe. Telling you, it is all a beautiful trait. And she is so right that there is something to behold about feeling that empowerment, feeling that like positive energy about how you did that, how I did, like you did that. No one else. Like what I said, lead a horse to water, but you have to be the one at the end of the day that can look themselves in the mirror and be like, that's right, I did this. No one else did that but me. Because in the end of the day, it's your choice, what you choose to put in your mouth. Okay, sorry.
Please don't rob yourself of that experience. So myth number one is that when you lose weight with Ozempic.
Okay, wait. She's doing myth number 1, but let me back it up. That's what I was going to say is the beautiful part, hold on, I think I backed it up too much. The beautiful part about all of this, I feel like, is we should be grateful that we get to have that experience for free. Like you don't even need another dime to do it, like people are getting on Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro. You don't need another dime. You get to do that for free, and your body wants to give you that when it's its healthiest. Isn't that beautiful? Like you get to feel all those feelings, and you get to feel that, like all those things I mentioned, being pain-free, being your moods leveled out, being in a good mood, having energy all the time, being in your best space, being able to connect, being able to feel like you can take on the world, being able to feel like I want to go play with my kids. I want to do this. I want to hang out with my husband more. I want to hang out with my boyfriend more, or my girlfriend. I'm feeling so good right now. I am living my fullest life. And that is how your body wants to reward you every day. And that is free. Isn't that amazing? Like that's the like mind-blowing beauty of it all, is that to get that is free to do. It's literally just about changing how you navigate your day by not putting the food in your mouth and putting choice foods rather than quantity. It's the quality. It's mind-boggling to me that we get to choose that every day if we want. How amazing is that? No one holds us down and like injects us with sugars and fats and all the bad stuff. Actually, fats are good for you. But, sugars and carbs, sodium. No one holds you down and does that. We do it to ourselves, and that's the scary part. Okay, I promise we're going to get through this video.
And you live in is massively important when it comes to health. So please don't rob yourself of that experience. So myth number 1 is that when you lose weight with Ozempic, you will feel amazing. I know you feel amazing, but do you feel empowered? Do you feel like a badass?
Just ask yourself.
Myth number 2 is that Ozempic, when you're losing weight with Ozempic, you are moving yourself towards health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that. I get that your hemoglobin A1C went down, but I love hemoglobin A1C. I love it as a marker. I love that you are seeing a visual on your labs that is showing you improvement in metabolic health. But what about protein? Like I mentioned this before, what about fiber? What about nutrients? If you're not eating all day long, how are you getting things in that you need to build muscle? How are you getting nutrients in? And Eat Like a Girl, I have something called the Key 24. There are 24 nutrients you need to be able to make hormones. If you're not eating, you're not getting those nutrients. So it's really important that we don't lose sight of the fact that just because you're losing weight doesn't mean you're healthy.
Boom,
We
mic
still
drop.
have a nutrient load. We
Mic
still have
drop.
a fiber count. I just brought Dr. Mary Claire Haver. I love this woman. She's doing great work in the menopausal space right now. I just brought her on my podcast, and she talked about the number one rule for women and hormones is fiber. Eat more fiber, and she recommends 20 grams of fiber. Well, fiber fills you up. So if you're on Ozempic and you're not getting enough fiber, then what's going to happen with your ability to break hormones down? Just something we got to all think about. Like, got another book for you.
Okay,
it's
so
called Eat Like a Girl.
What she's saying is,
for your
like, this is what we talked about earlier, is when you're not eating, you're not bringing in the nutrients that you need, even the good nutrients that your body does need. So your hormones do get out of whack. You do start feeling a little depressed. You're not getting the same type of bowel movements, and it is already messing with your digestive system being on the shot. So definitely doing it in a more natural way, like we've been talking about with the intermittent fasting, is going to be your biggest benefit. But if you're having struggles with that, if you're having, hold on, let me just like raise myself here. Here we go. If you're having struggles with the cravings and not putting the food in your mouth, that's when I talked about the apple cider vinegar cocktail, and also the concoction that I talked about with the doctors on a panel last week, and I shared it with you guys yesterday on yesterday's podcast, episode number 35. That is going to help you not only curb your appetite, but get all of your organs and your glands, like your thyroid and your gallbladder and the things that you need to work properly, or your gut, your digestive system. Those are the things that you really need to hone in on. And those 4 ingredients that I gave you are going to be supercharge you for that. And they're going to get your cravings in check. You're going to feel better. You're going to everything's going to be better about your mind, body, and spirit. Everything. So I put those in yesterday's podcast. Let me see how much time is left on this. All right, let me fast forward it just a little bit and see if she gets to like another point. Hold on. Let's go.
Metabolic problem, and you've lost weight, your hemoglobin A1C is down, and now you can get off of them. Okay, I think we've all heard this, but hopefully if you haven't, what's your exit strategy? The myth is like, this is the miracle cure. You get on it, you're cured. How are you going to get off of it? When are you going to get off of it? So this one concerns me the most, because I just want to, I know I have a worldwide audience, but I was just in England. In England, spent a couple of weeks there. Ozempic costs like $300-400. In America, it costs like $1,000. This is expensive medication. And so what do? What's your next move once you've lost weight? It has not solved your metabolic problem. It has temporarily put a patch on it. It has not solved it.
Right.
Because once you are off that medication, your metabolic health goes right back into its old state. So it has not solved your metabolic health. So we need something that's going to solve your metabolic health.
Did you hear that? It's just taking the Band-Aid off and seeing that you've still got the wound under there. Right? That does sound so scary. If you guys are on this shot right now and you're watching this, it sounds so scary, but don't be worried. Don't let your doctor tell you that you have to be on that. I keep pulling the cord out. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't even make any sense to have to be on something like that forever if it's just about helping you lose weight. That's almost like saying, oh, you're just going to stay on it, and then what? Is this like a false weight loss, and then you're going to gain it all back? The beautiful part is, if you listen to the right people and you take into consideration and you're mindful and you put it into action, you can keep the weight that you're at, get off that stuff, and maintain a beautiful, healthy lifestyle at that weight. You already got the big part of it done. The big haul of it is done, is you've lost the weight. Now let's get you actually healthy. Like what she's saying, it's because you lost the weight doesn't make you healthy. Now you're there. Let's get you actually healthy. And you cannot do it on the shot. You cannot get there on that shot. You understand what I'm saying to you? You cannot get there on the shot. You have to start doing the things that the steps that are necessary to help you get healthy. You're not just because you lost the weight, you're not healthy. What's going on inside of your body from that shot is annihilating your gut, annihilating your digestive system. It's all out of whack because now when you take that out, you take the element out of all those unnatural, the mimickers, the cell mimicking that was going on in your body. Now you take those out. Now you're trying to say to all those things that those cell mimickers took their place inside, they stop working because they're like, oh, well, we don't need to double down on these workers. We got all these other workers to do the job. Okay, I'm bowing out. I'm taking off. That's what happens. So now you're going to take that drug out of your body, and now you are expecting your metabolism to be on point, your digestion to be on point, all those things that went to sleep because they've been relying on that drug. Now you have to give them time and really feed them up and fuel them up and make them a part of your daily life and wake them up. You got to wake them up because they've been asleep for as long as you've been taking that stuff. Now we got to wake them up. And how do you do that? Right? That's where we're at, is how do you do that? Listen up.
And honestly, the thing that I have seen after over 700,000 books going out into the world and after over 80 million views on my YouTube channel, what solves metabolic health is a fasting lifestyle. So the best thing we can do for people on weight loss drugs is to actually teach them how to build a fasting lifestyle. So if you're on these drugs or you know somebody who's on these drugs that's trying to get off of them, then send this video to them. And what I'm going to recommend is that you all start learning a fasting lifestyle, have a compressed eating window and have a time where you're fasting. These 2 books for women, I got you covered. I got it. You can learn it
for women, but I'm talking to men and women.
But if we do that along with these weight loss drugs, then there can be an exit because now you've solved your metabolic health.
Hear that?
So I'm not here to tell you what to do or not to do with medication. That is a personal conversation between you and your doctor. But I am here to tell you that we've got to be very cautious about many of the things that are the downsides of this incredible weight loss drug that everybody is excited about. I had some really interesting conversations recently. One of them was with Stephen on the Diary of the CEO, where one of the things they're finding is that people going on Ozempic are finding that they're more depressed. And the reason for that is because they've used food to push down their emotions. And now they're not hungry, so they don't have food to be able to give them that dopamine response. We have to think long term on this game.
Ooh.
And what I know is that when we apply a fasting lifestyle.
Wow. Okay, let me just back it up a few seconds. Did you guys catch that? That was big. That was saying people that are been on Ozempic, they start to become depressed. Remember I told you that when you start getting in the space of depression, your doctor wants to prescribe you drugs to, for a depressant, even though you've never been a depressant before. It's really your lifestyle, your change of your appetite, your food, your things that a lot of this is the drug, right? Because before people were self-medicating to remember what I told you? The reason that people are addicted to food is because of the euphoria you're feeling. And I said, take that 19 hours and feel that euphoria in a healthier way. Take 19 hours with no food in your mouth, and that gives you the good benefits of the euphoria. And that's a long-lasting benefit, long-lasting euphoria. And the food that you eat, you release that dopamine and you get like the 15-second high. That's what people are used to when they're sad and depressed. They get used to shoving down that dopamine, shoving down that food to get that dopamine and self-medicating on that. And now they're taking that food away. So now they're just depressed because they're also not giving all the other things, like you're taking out the fiber, you're taking out your protein, you're taking out all the things that control your hormones. So now your hormones are all out of whack and you're not doing anything positive to give back to your body. So, and sometimes people are just eating trash when they are eating. They're not even giving the good stuff. They're craving because their cravings are still so severe when they are hungry that they're craving the bad stuff like fried foods and, Debbie cakes and cookies and that kind of crap. So listen up. It's almost done. We're almost done with this video.
We have to think long term on this game. And what I know is that when we apply a fasting
Abby?
lifestyle to
Welcome.
this tool, this weight loss tool, now we have a path out. And you could use that Ozempic just like a little trigger to be able to support you and help you along your health path. So I hope this brings context to a conversation that I can tell you many of my health influencers and doctors in my space and what I call doctor authors that are writing books. This is a conversation we're having behind the scenes.
Same.
Everybody's a little nervous because where is personal responsibility in Ozempic? Where is personal empowerment in Ozempic? And although it is proving to be a metabolic temporary hero, there's a long-term game around health that's not being had. And I hope in this video, you just got it.
So there you have it. Remember, all the podcasts and all the information that I share with you guys here, so you can do a deep dive or go back and watch it again if you want, is on my main YouTube page, which is where I'm sharing this podcast from, at Kara Chris TV. You have to put the @ symbol, Kara Chris TV. It's going to be under my podcast info vids under playlist. It's the very first playlist that pops up. So you go to playlists and it's in that very first. Hold on, let me see where I'm at. Whoops. Did I just close it? I think I did. Nope, I didn't. Okay, let me show you. Let me go to it with you right here. Okay, here's my page. This is what the pictures look like. So you know it's me at Kara Chris TV. And then down here, you see playlists. See where it says playlist? Second to last option down here, right under where it says manage videos, it says playlists. You click on playlists. Let me see if I can do that while you're watching. You click on playlists, and then it's the very first playlist, podcast info vids. That's where I keep all the all the videos that I show you guys and we talk about and discuss on the podcasts each time will be stored there, so you can go back and look and shuffle through, deep dive on your own and what have you. So that way, if you didn't catch something or you're driving, you're just listening to this on audio and you want to see it with your own eyeballs, this is the way to do it. So that's it, you guys. I hope that you learned something great today about how to live your best life from the inside out. That's what we do here on this channel. I'm trying to help anyone with my knowledge and my expertise in all of the areas with my fitness and my wellness and my health coaching, and the estheticians with the skincare and the hair care and all of the licensings and degrees that I have. A lot of it in psychology, what I went to college for, is a mental game. A big part of this is a mental game. So I'm here for you. If you want to write me at behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. If you have a topic you want me to cover or deep dive on, if you have a question about any of my past podcasts or any topics that we've spoken about, or you just need a little direction, hit me up and let me know. I am here. I know there's a lot of different things all across my 8 channels. So pardon me if I don't get back to you if you've messaged me on one of the platforms, but the quickest way is going to send me an email at behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. I almost did that backwards. I reversed it in my head. Anyway, I will see you guys. If not on here tomorrow, I have to see what the weather's doing because it's snowing here. So I'm supposed to have my daughter's supposed to have a doctor's appointment during the time with her cancer checkup. And if I'm not doing that, I'll be on here tomorrow. And I'll definitely see you on Friday for Fun Fact Friday. So I do hope you hit that subscribe button so you get notified when I'm coming on here live, so you can join in on the conversation. I try and switch back and forth between platforms during the podcast so I can see if anybody has written a message, but I'll see it live in full effect if you are writing me from X. I just hooked up X. So if you're writing me from X or from YouTube or from Facebook, but Instagram, TikTok, I just have to keep switching back and forth to see if you guys have said anything to join in on the conversation. Some people just like to listen and hear what's being said. So that's perfectly fine too. I'm sending you guys lots of love for your day today. Sending out the love, sending out hugs. Make sure you guys go check the book out. If you haven't bought the book yourself, I don't get any kickbacks from any of this stuff. I'm just simply sharing knowledge with you about what's worked for me, what's worked for my clients, my patients. I definitely feel very inspired by this, and it's called The Magic. Go check it out. Go to the link. You could even type it right now in The Magic Book Day by Day. And there is a link. Somebody already posted up every day of okay. I talk with my hands and keep pulling the darn microphone cord out. Gonna adjust that for tomorrow. But thank you guys so much. I really do hope that you are taking in some of this knowledge and you want to give it a go and you want to try something that's really going to level your game up in 2025. I cannot wait for you guys to see how 2025 is going to be your year and all the magic that's going to happen if you actually just take some of this advice and give it a go. And if you miss some of this, you can go back to my for Bo and Hal for always being here and always supporting this. And I pull the cord out one more time, I swear. I send you guys so much love and hugs. Thank you so much for being here. I seriously, I'm so grateful for the gratitude for the follows and for the subs and for people that are just sending me donations because this is a hashtag mom side hustle and it is really beneficial to me and my family to receive your love and to receive the donations that you send in. I'm so grateful for that and I'm grateful for you. And I hope that you do find a way to find some game knowledge from this channel that will help you. And I can't wait to hear your story when you reach out to me and say, hey, I tried your X, Y, or Z, and this is, I can't believe it. So I can't wait to hear your stories and I can't wait to meet you. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I will see you tomorrow or Friday. I have to see how it goes tomorrow with the weather, but definitely be on Friday for Fun Fact Friday. Okay, until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.